Friday. I hope this Friday is treating you well. My name is Alicia Renice, and I'm so happy that you are here. Okay, so before we get started, I want to read what I wrote this morning, and I want to share it with you all. And today we have a guest. I don't know if you see in the title, but it's probably given away already. But we have a guest today, so let's get started. So, what I wrote this morning is: what if you knew for a fact that you were a good thing, a sure thing? How would you show up in the world if you knew you were enough? What might you do? If you knew you were even more beautiful, more majestic, more wondrous than the heavens, who might you be? If you knew you had God's very breath in your lungs, if you knew what it took to get to the other side of your mother's womb, that it was no accident that you were fashioned out of the richest material that exists, soil. From soil comes life, healing, nourishment. On soil we stand, we bless, we trust. The soil we return, bringing more life. To soil, To soil we return, bringing more life, more light. We are walking gardens, budding with blooms, bursting with fruit. We have nothing to fear. We are a safe place to rest for our soul. Be grounded in this truth as you trust the ground beneath your feet. Be grounded in the fact, trust that you belong here, that you are a good thing. So good morning, everybody. Hi. Hi, Mara. Welcome. Good morning. Good morning. Hi, Are You Breathing by Katrina Knight. I love that name. That's beautiful. Are You Breathing? Yes. Hi, Lavendula. Welcome. Welcome. Good morning, everybody. Okay. So this video is inspired by the Bible, inspired by God. It's inspired by Braiding Sweetgrass, which is a book that I finished about a month ago. Braiding Sweetgrass. Another book called The Secret Life of Trees, and a podcast called Black Girl Country Living. Okay, so all of these are inspired by these works. And so I wanted to talk about soil because I really believe that nature can teach us something, can teach us something about ourselves, about the world around us. And yeah, so let's get started. So all our lives we're taught that soil is dirty, right? And we spend our entire lives afraid of it, afraid of getting close to it, right? We think that somehow it lessens our value if we're seen with it. Like if it's on us, we're dirty, right? We don't want to be called dirty. We see dirt as dirty, right? We see people as dirty who work jobs which require them to work with it and near it to befriend soil. Yet we need soil for all we do, all we hold dear. We need it for food, lodging, shelter, travel. And we treat soil like a pariah, but also demand for it to yield for us, to heal us, to take care of us, to house us. We spend no time with soil. She's a distant relative, an unknown friend to our ancestors, a resting place. We've been taught to distance ourselves from her because in her is freedom, wealth, kinship, and belonging. So I really believe that we've been taught to have disdain towards dirt and soil because we've been lied to say like, oh, it's actually not worth anything, when actually it's worth everything. Okay, so let me get back to my notes. I'm created from her, and to her I will return. Maybe that's why we don't like to get our hands dirty, because it reminds us of where we come from and where we're going, right? It reminds us of our mortality, and we see our mortality as something to fix or something to change. You know what I mean? But like, there's something beautiful because even in death, there is life in soil. Like, think about it. When things go back to the earth, when things decompose into the earth, other things feed on it, right? That's not fun to hear, but other things feed on it and other things grow from it. Even seeds have to die before they sprout, right? They have to break open. They have to be destroyed before they break free and produce fruit. So maybe that's why, and this is me journaling, obviously, my thoughts, but maybe that's why we're so afraid of dirt and soil, because it reminds us of how it reminds us of our humanity and how sacred we really are, and we run from that thing. We see being mortal as some sort of death sentence, right? As some sort of bad judgment, when being human is the most beautiful thing that you can be. So, like I said, I am created from her, and to her I will return. And maybe that's why we don't like to get our hands dirty. She reminds us of ourselves. We are at war with ourselves. She reminds us of where our love come from, excuse me. She reminds us of where we come from. We want to see ourselves as immortal, unnatural, evolved beyond her. But she reminds us of where we're headed, our last embrace. We fear the inevitable, spending as much time away from her as possible. But dust acts as a reminder, right? When you really think about like the composition, the things that make up dust, it's a lot of skin cells, right? It's a shedding. And so our dust, our dirt, the dust which we were created from, reminds us of where we're going and where we're from, right? It reminds us of our mortality, but also our beauty, the fact that we were handcrafted from dust, right? Yeah, so dust acts as a reminder. We are ever fading away and being regenerated, being renewed, thanks to the soil. So literally everything we're made up of comes from the soil. The food we eat, right, comes from the soil. The trees that filter the air we breathe, we talked about breath last time, comes from the soil. Everything comes back to the soil that we deem so dirty. Yes. She has some wisdom to offer, and she is the keeper of our secrets, the friend to our fallen, the answer to our issues, a guide to the future. Instead of working with her, we call her unsightly. We smother her in concrete. We say her process isn't fast enough, so we inject her with poison, demanding more from her when we give nothing back. We don't even spend time with her. We place steel structures on her to push away the people she loves the most, the ones closest to her daily. She is stolen from under the feet of those who know and love her intimately. They will not forget her. She is so much more than dirt under their fingernails. Excuse me. I am made from dust, from dirt and soil, and I have been treated with the same carelessness as the soil. I have treated the soil as something to fear, as something that lessens the value if it gets on you, while resources, wealth, labor has been stolen from me, right? So the reason why I wrote this is because I was really thinking about nature and how nature has a lot to teach us. Hi, everybody. How nature has a lot to teach us. But a lot of us are afraid of getting our hands dirty, right? We're afraid of being dirty. We're taught, don't get no dirt on this because it ruins something. When really, like the soil and the dirt is what makes up everything around us. Everything was started from soil. And I'm going back to the creation story in the Bible, but there are a lot of creation stories where soil is a vital, important part of the story of creation. Without soil, you have nothing, right? Even if you're talking about a lot of, like the world on a turtle's back, right? This example of pulling soil from the ocean and putting it on the turtle's back to create, Turtle Island, which we're on right now. Soil is so important, but we run from it. And I was thinking about soil and how it kind of mirrors us, especially as Black people, right? Like this idea that we're dirty, we're not enough. Somehow, if we get in something, we lessen the value of property, right? How we lessen the value of something, we cheapen something because of our existence being tied to that thing. But it's a lie because they know they can make money off of us. Like it's like that phrase, everything is ghetto until proven profitable, right? Everything is ratchet until proven profitable. Everything about us is proven time and time again that it is profitable, that it is important, that it is valuable. But we can't see it within ourselves because I really feel like our friend really is dirt. You know what I mean? Our friend is dirt. Dirt is a reminder of who we are. And reading the creation story, for example, in scripture, right? This idea that God reached down into the earth and fashioned me together, put me together with soil and with dirt, right? And so we would read that and think like, I got to be made of dirt. Like that's cheap. That's dirty. That is unsightly. It's gross. All these different things because we're so attached from nature. We're so detached, from nature. We're so detached that we don't realize the wealth that is under the land. If land and soil was so disgusting and dirty and unworthy, why are people like doing land grabs? Why are people stealing land from under people? Why are people poisoning our waters, poisoning our soil? Why is land so expensive if it's so dirty, right? And so for us as like Black folks, especially Black women, Black folks, I really do believe that we have something to learn from the soil, that we should put our hands back into the soil. Number one, like we're detached from it. There are healing properties within the soil. There's a whole thing called grounding where you're taking off your shoes, you're putting your feet in the soil, right? There's healing that happens, right? A regeneration that happens. but we're so detached that we try to run from soil. But nature has all the answers we need, literally. And it is warfare, in my opinion, for us to be convinced to remove ourselves from land. From land. The people who took this land captive and stole the land knows how precious and profitable it is, right? And so if we come from dust, it's like that dirt is a reflection of us. We've been called unsightly. We've been called, again, cheap and disgusting and dirty and all these different things. But it's a lie. It's a lie. And one thing I wrote earlier is that we're walking gardens. We are walking gardens. We take a seed, we take something, we put it in, we plant it in our heart, and it grows and it blooms, right? So there are so many things I want to say, but I do want to bring in our special guest as I text him right now, because I was talking about this talk with him, and he had some insight to offer, and I was like, that's actually really good. And so I think this conversation will be profitable and be good. So hopefully you all are having a wonderful morning. Let me say good morning to all of you. So yes, hi Mara. Hi Mara. Hi, Are You Breathing? Hi Lavendula. Hi. Oh yes, soil as a she. Woo, felt that. Yes. Like if soil is like a womb, right? In my mind, soil is a woman. So that's just, that's just here. Oh, hi Mika Campbell. Hey, hello Alicia. Thanks for the safe space. You're welcome. Thank you. Thank you. Hi Charlene Edwards. I'm happy to see your love and light. Oh, I'm glad. I'm glad. Hi LD. Yes, it is true. Hi JB. Welcome. 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 Okay. Yay. All right. So here's our special guest. Yay.
Happy Friday, everybody.
Yes, happy Friday. Let me move the mic.
Today is Friday, right?
Yes, today is Friday. Themis. I'm gonna make the song. I promise. I am. Last week I was down for the count. Last week.
Yeah.
I had an ear infection. But yes, I got you. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Hi. Good morning. Good morning. Ooh. Erlyn Best Worlds. Good morning. Okay, so yes. Yes, you are a walking garden. Mm-hmm. Like seriously, for good and bad, right? Like, and I really do believe that the fruit that we create, other people are supposed to eat from it too. Like, it's supposed to be healing to ourselves. It's supposed to be food unto ourselves, but it's also supposed to be food for other people.
Absolutely.
So like everything we do, like someone else is consuming what we're creating, whether good or bad. And so we have the choice what seeds we want to accept in our soil, what seeds we want to plant, what we want to nurture and harvest and share, God sent you for this time. I don't feel like I have anything left in me. I'm sending you love. Yeah. Oh no, I'm sending you love, JB. Yeah. I really am. I know like hearts, but if I was with you, I would give you a huge hug.
Yeah.
A huge hug. Good morning. Good morning. All right. So we were in the bathroom. How this conversation came. And I was telling him about my thoughts on soil and how like all the soil is teaching us. First of all of nature, I feel like is teaching us things, but like we're so disconnected from nature that we're not even available to it. And we think it's just like whatever, like it's inconvenient, right? As opposed to like the foundation for our lives, like literally and figuratively, you know what I'm saying? So like if I am a believer and I believe that God fashioned us from dirt, from soil, then I know that dirt is a part of like the building blocks of my body, carbon,
absolutely.
Right? Yeah. So scientifically, you know what I mean? Yeah. Carbon. So like, but we're so afraid of soil. I feel like we fear soil and we think soil is something that's dead and something that pulls down and destroys when really it recreates life. Yeah. It helps things flourish. Oh, yeah, go ahead.
No, you were on a roll. I'm not trying to stop you, but I mean, I agree. And I think, not trying to be too super spiritual about it or whatever, but I think it's intentional for us to be taken away from nature. So, we've talked about it in regards to like places to live. And I've always expressed to you, I'm not really a big fan of cities. And a thought that I've had for a long time is that cities kind of, in my mind, remind me of like the Tower of Babel. Like it pulls you away from nature and being connected to God. So if you're in a city surrounded by all of these things that are man-made, then you don't, and even if say you're in like New York City or whatever like that, you have all these huge skyscrapers that are really blocking your view of God's creation. It's blocking your view of the sky, blocking your view of the sun, blocking your view of nature, green, earth, all
And
these
people.
things, and people. You know, it takes you away, and so that you only focus on man and focus on anything else that they want you to focus on. It can be advertisements, all this stuff. But once you're in nature and you have the opportunity to connect, like you mentioned a little while ago about grounding, like even scientifically that makes sense. Like you need to be connected to what you came from,
Yes.
you know, and that can be manifested and represented in so many different ways. Excuse me. You can think about community. When you're disconnected from your community, if you're disconnected from your people, you need to be reconnected. You need to get plugged back into the thing that actually gives you source where you came from. And so like being in cities and being apart from nature depletes us.
Yes.
And you know, and wears down on us. And I think sadly a lot of our people are forced in those areas. You know, we are separated from the thing that we come from.
And like nature is made into a commodity. Like it's made into
Absolutely.
like something luxurious to experience.
Yep.
So if you didn't know, me and my husband, we traveled in our RV together for, what was it, 2019?
Yeah.
2019.
Yeah. Pretty much until the pandemic.
Yeah. So we traveled until the pandemic hit, and we realized how inaccessible nature really was for people. So like we traveled across the country. We went to Colorado. We went to New Mexico, all these different places. But then we realized the people that we were looking around, they didn't look anything like us.
No.
It was mostly like made into like, oh, this is a luxury. And so I think, one, I agree with you. We have a complicated history with nature, obviously.
Yeah.
So we were taken away from our land, right? Ancestrally, we were taken away from our land, placed here on this land that didn't belong to us, right? This land was stolen from other people, and we were forced to work this land. So it's almost like, but we also have a lovely connection to nature. I love hearing the elders talk about like just like nature wisdom that they have and that they share with people.
Yeah.
My mother, for example, has a green thumb, and she still gardens to this day. There's a garden out back right now.
Yeah.
And so there's this idea that like, you know, with the migration to the north, like, oh, this is behind us. We want more established things. So we sought cities. We sought, and obviously seeking for work and safety. So that's a
Absolutely.
fair thing.
Yeah.
But I think even in that, there was this kind of like looking down on people who stayed behind in nature.
Yeah, absolutely.
That
I
happened.
mean, I think that is definitely a result of societal norms and ideas. So, like, idea of like being a professional gardener or a
Yes.
farmer can feel like it's beneath you.
Yes.
You know, in regards to like, if like you said, moving to the north, so I'm going to work in a factory, or I'm
Yes.
going to do this because one, it makes more money, and two, I don't have to be looked at as just a stupid farmer or something like that. Like you
It's
start to
definitely classism.
yeah, it's classism. You start to demonize and think lowly of people who are doing something that we all need.
Yes. We all need.
Yeah, we all need farmers,
Yeah.
but you know, people want to look down on them, or you know, say, oh, they must not be intelligent or something like that. No.
Like you have to be a farmer.
Yeah.
And it is like, I think I love that example that you use about like the Tower of Babel. This idea, like, so biblically speaking, there's a story where everybody was trying to build a tower to the heavens and it didn't work. But like the idea of even like, I think I look at skyscrapers the same when you were talking about like Babel, like skyscrapers, people building these shrines unto themselves to elevate themselves higher than everybody else, elevate themselves higher than the ground.
Yeah.
And so if you're thinking in terms of that, it's like the people who work the ground are less than you. The people who are cleaning, who are cooking, who are, you know, working with people one-on-one,
Yeah.
the people who are working the ground.
Yeah.
Like we're looking at those people, whether we, you know, we're consciously doing this or not,
Yeah.
whether it's been taught.
Yeah.
Like you don't want to be a janitor. You don't
Yeah.
want to be a farmer. You don't want to
Absolutely.
be, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And we're fed these lies because they know where the real wealth is. And you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
they know that this is where you actually find wealth and wisdom and the foundation for everything.
Yeah.
You don't have steel without the ground.
Yeah.
You don't have steel to erect
Yeah.
a tower without the ground. Like you have nothing without the ground.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And so one thing that I wanted to point out when you were talking that stood out to me was like the culture that we live in, nothing is sacred here. Land is not sacred here, right? People are not sacred here, and people are from the land.
Yep.
And so like if we're from the land, then of course we're not going to be seen as sacred, and we're going to be taught that we're not sacred.
Yeah.
that we're not important, that nobody can eat from what we create. And so we shrink.
Yeah.
And we think ourselves less than. We think that we're not good enough. We don't try things. We don't do things because we don't remember that we're people of the soil. And whatever we put in ourselves multiplies.
Yep.
It's abundance.
Yeah.
Like in the soil, you are soil. You are a garden. So yes. And so because again, I'm gonna say white folks here, the West, the West doesn't find anything sacred. We're living. So I live like in the woods, right? Like in nature.
Yeah.
And they're just developing the land. They're just developing all the land. Like,
Yeah.
like it's nothing. Like we don't need trees or grocery stores. Hello. Like technically we're in a food desert.
Yeah.
And so like they're building all this stuff as a shrine to themselves. You see names of people. Oh, if this person bought this land, it's their land. It's like this ownership where before there was this is our land. First of all, it's not ours to own. We didn't create it.
Yeah.
But it's ours to use and to benefit from. Right?
Yeah.
But I think that even translate with how we see people, we see people to use them.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Not
absolutely.
to share in their wealth and their wisdom and to even plant seeds into them so that they can continue to grow and to become abundant.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's a demonic thought processing to demonize the land, creation, and to demonize other or mistreat other creators.
Yeah.
So like if we're all made in the image of God, why would we treat the image of God that way?
Precisely.
And, biblically speaking, yes, the earth is ours because the Lord gave it to us, but he gave it to us to manage, not to abuse. Like we're
And
supposed
it's not ours.
Yeah.
like it's God's.
Exactly. That's like a manager saying like, here, this is your thing to do. I'm giving you responsibility over it, but it ultimately is mine.
Yes.
But I'm giving you the opportunity and the expectation that you will handle it well.
Yeah.
But if we don't see people as valuable, if we don't see creation as valuable, and we don't have any respect or honor towards it, then we mistreat it. And again, like I mentioned about it being demonic, that's how wickedness and evil looks at us.
Yeah.
It doesn't honor the Most High. It doesn't honor us as his heirs. Like everything, it's very antichrist.
Yeah.
So even hating other people and hating the image of God is
It's
antichrist.
anti-God.
Yeah, it's
Like,
anti-God. Yeah.
It's literally like what you're saying. If we are representatives, reflections, however you want to look at it, little gods, right? Then like when we mistreat people, yes, you are spitting in the face of God.
Yeah.
You are slapping the face of God.
Yeah.
And I think that people don't really consider how heavy that is. Like when you mistreat people, you directly impact God. And it's like when you mistreat them, if you're mistreating the land, we all feel the ramifications of it.
Yeah.
Right? Like when people are poisoning the land, when people are exploiting it of its resources and giving nothing back, our food suffers, our people suffer.
Yeah.
Right? Like animals suffer.
Yeah.
The climate suffers.
Yeah.
Hello. It's hot as I don't know what outside. But, like,
Yeah.
but it's also July in the DMV. So there's
Summertime.
that summertime.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
so there's this ripple effect that happens, and we think so individualistically that we think that what I do to somebody else doesn't affect me.
Yeah.
When really, when you curse the land, when you mistreat the land, it curses you back. When you poison the land, when you don't respect it,
Absolutely.
it doesn't respect you back.
Yeah,
And it goes back to like the age, you reap what you sow. If you're sowing poison, you're going to get poison.
Yep.
If you're putting poison, like literally, if you're putting poison in the soil, your food is going to be poisonous.
Yeah.
Your waters are going to be poisonous. Your air is going to be poisonous. Your people are going to be sick, right? And so when we curse people, we curse ourselves. Because if we all share the image, that means I'm spitting in my own face,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Like,
Absolutely.
and this is like, obviously, it means like disrespecting people. Because yes, pull people up when they need to be pulled up, but
Yeah.
like in love.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and sometimes love sounds sharp.
Yeah. Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But there is something I did want you to talk about. I'm sorry, when you were saying like anti-God, like anti-human, how anti-human the West is.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Like nothing that is sacred is seen as sacred. Nothing is held valuable. Nothing is honored. It's all about money.
Yeah.
And money cheapens everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I do want to, when we were talking in the bathroom, you were talking about, you were talking about the parable of the sower.
Yeah.
And how that plays a part in this.
Yeah.
So even if you're not a believer, like there are universal laws that are just fact.
Yeah.
Call it karma, call it reaping what you sow, whatever you want. Like whatever you do does come back. It does come back. Maybe not for you, but maybe generations later.
Yeah.
And it matters.
Yeah.
But go ahead. Sorry.
If it's okay, I'm gonna try to read it real quick.
Go ahead.
So people have context. So this is one incident. one instance of the parable of the sower in the Bible. This is Matthew chapter 13. I'm starting at verse 18. Hear then the parable of the sower. When anyone hears wait, hold on.
I appreciate the.
Uh,
I appreciate you not using King
James.
James.
Yeah, I'm trying to respect people.
Thank
Trying
you.
to respect people.
Appreciate
Let's see.
it.
All right, okay. I'm gonna jump backwards. So Matthew 13. We'll start at verse 3. And so he's talking to people, disciples. Jesus is talking to people, disciples or whatever. Verse 3, and he told them many things in parables, saying, a sower went out to sow, and as he sowed, some seeds fell along the path, and the birds came and devoured them. Other seeds fell on rocky ground, where they did not have much soil, and immediately they sprang up, since they had no depth of soil. But when the sun rose, they were scorched, and since they had no root, they withered away. Other seeds fell among thorns, and the thorns grew up and choked them. Other seeds fell on good soil and produced grain, some 100-fold, some 60, some 30. He who has ears, let him hear. Okay, I guess I'll jump down. So Jesus then explains the parable, right? So hear then the parable of the sower, still Jesus talking. When anyone hears the word of the kingdom and does not understand it, the evil one comes and snatches away what has been sown in his heart. This is what was sown along the path. As for what was sown on rocky ground, this is the one who hears the word and immediately receives it with joy. Yet he has no root in himself, but endures for a while. And when tribulation or persecution arises on account of the word, immediately he falls away. As for what was sown among thorns, this is the one who hears the word, but the cares of the world and the deceitfulness of riches choke the word, and it proves unfruitful. As for what was sown on good soil, this is the one who hears the word and understands it. He indeed bears fruit and yields, in one case 100-fold, and in another 60, and another 30. And so, like what we were talking about earlier, is that we are, or at least I was expressing that we are all gardens.
Yeah.
And so we all have the opportunity to be good ground.
Yeah.
And so you're talking about, you were mentioning that we as people of soil, or like I like to call us temples made of dirt, temples made of soil or whatever, right? We are designed that whatever seed we receive, we will multiply it. We'll bear it. And that can be good or bad.
Yes.
And so, but it's our responsibility as living souls, as temples of dirt, as people of soil, to manage that.
Yes.
And to protect it and to guard it. So if there are stones in us, we need to get rid of them.
Yes.
If there are thorns and weeds around us, we need to get rid of them. If there's, birds of the air or wickedness trying to come and take away those good things from us, we have to fight them off.
Yeah.
So that we can prepare ourselves to bear much fruit.
Yeah. And
Go ahead.
no, to that point, I think that there is a time where your soil is just yourself is just supposed to be nourishing your soil.
Absolutely.
Like,
Absolutely.
Don't worry about feeding other people.
Absolutely.
Don't worry about, production for production's sake. There are times where you just need to feed yourself, because when you don't feed yourself, when you don't give yourself time to rest or to nourish yourself, right, you're going to put out stuff that has no nutrients.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? It's just air. You're exhausted. And so I think that there are things that we can learn from the soil. When you're really working with the soil, you don't plant every season.
Nope.
You don't reap every season. Like, that's the whole point of like why mono farming is like bad. Like, meaning farming just one thing. It's bad because it depletes the soil and gives nothing back to the soil, right?
Yeah.
So like there are seasons for rest. There are seasons where you burn down everything.
Yep.
Like, you burn down everything and you start over.
Yeah.
But to be good soil, you got to be good to yourself first.
Absolutely.
Before you're good for anybody else. And I think that's one of the things that I struggle with, because even I want to do so much for people and I want to help people. And half the time I be ignoring myself. And I don't see that I'm rocky, that I'm stony, that I'm dried out, that I'm poisoned.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then until I do the thing in the process, either the process or how I do the thing and what the fruit is shows me that I am exhausted and poisoned and frustrated.
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
there have been times, even talking about like last night, I'm working on music to release in October, and I wanted to release it in August. And so I was letting Jamal listen to the stuff, and he was like, "What's the rush? Like, why are you rushing to release it next month?" And I'm like, there's really no rush, except that I want to get the stuff out there, but I need time. I need to be kind to myself and understand that seasons happen when they're supposed to happen. Yeah. Winter is long as I don't know what, right? But winter is necessary. Winter is long, but it's necessary. And the problem isn't, and I say this for myself, the problem isn't that the season is wrong. It's that I'm wrong in the right season. right?
Yeah.
So like in the wintertime, I'm like, no, I need to produce.
Yeah.
Girl, it's winter.
Yeah.
Calm down.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Like, who are you? Like, because we live in a society, in this world that tells us we have to produce all the time.
Yeah.
That's not fact. It's
Yeah.
not kind. It's anti-human, and it's
Yeah.
not true.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we have, whether you've heard, you discussed grounding or even the idea of resyncing yourself to your circadian rhythms. So, like, getting up when the sun goes up or going to sleep or at least laying down and resting when the sun goes down.
Yeah.
But because of, again, I think about New York, it's usually described as a city that never sleeps.
Yeah.
How is
Yeah.
that beneficial or healthy for anybody?
That's true. It's fun for a time.
Yeah, it's fun for us. It's fun for a time.
Yeah.
But yeah, very
After
often.
that, I want to go home.
Yeah, very often people have to do so much to sustain themselves in a city that never sleeps that they burn out or they become cold, hard, distant. Like they
Yes.
have to do whatever they have to do to survive. But that again can be very anti-human.
Yes.
It's not benefiting and helping us to be our best selves.
Yeah.
But our society, this world that we live in, especially in the West, rewards that. It rewards you exhausting yourself. It rewards hustle culture. It rewards exploitation. Some of the quote unquote greatest, moguls and people that are,
The billionaires.
yeah, like who are idolized as successful. Very often you don't talk about how they exploited people, exploited resources, exploited these things. We're just
Stole
like, oh,
ideas.
yeah, it's like, oh no, they're just great. So we need to be like them. We
Yeah.
need to model ourselves after them. But even I was watching, excuse me, I was watching it like a compilation video interview of Mr. Beast. So for any YouTubers out there, people who are content creators in YouTube, like Mr. Beast is probably one of the most successful YouTubers to this day, right? And in his interview, he talked about, he pretty much said, is like, I don't think anybody will be better or, take my spot as a YouTuber because this is all I do. And in that, him saying that, he was like,
He got it.
But no, he says that. He's like, I wouldn't wish this on anybody else. I wouldn't want anybody else to live the life that I live. But he's consumed by it. And I've heard other people say that. Like Elon Musk has said that in interviews. He's like, I wouldn't recommend anybody do what I do.
Yeah.
Like all I do is reinvest into my business. I'm consumed by it. And so, but we want to idolize those people.
Yeah.
We want to say, oh, this is what you need to do. This is
Yeah.
how you be successful. Is
Yeah.
is it really sustainable? Like
That
like,
part.
Yeah,
And-
sorry. Go
no,
ahead.
no. I don't want to interrupt you.
No, you're fine.
But what you were saying about the platform, soil, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what I'm thinking about is when we consume stuff, it passes through us, it becomes waste. It goes back into the earth. That's how it's supposed to be.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's supposed to go back into the earth and then help produce
Mm-hmm.
more stuff, right? But the question is like, what is the soil you're standing on?
Mm-hmm.
If you're consuming people's dreams, if you're lying, if you're, stealing, and
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
like it can't be sustainable.
Yeah.
Because it's going to erode at some point. It's
Yeah.
not real, like it's not rich, healthy soil.
Yeah.
It is soil soaked in blood. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then what happens with the soil with blood? You can't use it. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
it's almost like I see there, and it's frustrating because I'm seeing all these people in power who shouldn't be in power and they're so evil. And I get it. People be like, if there was a God, why are so many people in power? And I'm
Yeah.
like, same. I got,
Yeah,
what the heck is
100%.
going on?
Yeah.
But I also rest knowing that their success is not sustainable. It can't be forever.
Yeah.
It has to fall.
Yeah.
Like if what we're reading is true, if we believe in the laws of the universe of reaping what you sow, like
Yeah.
none of this stuff can sustain. And maybe it does need to crumble to become soil again.
Yeah.
So we can start over.
Yeah.
And I think even in our own lives, like there are some things that need to fall apart, but we're so like we're trying to build the Tower of Babel, trying to
Yeah.
find relevance and significance up here
Yeah.
when our significance is down by the ground.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
absolutely,
saying?
absolutely.
Like we try so hard to push away from who we are, from our roots, from
Yeah.
the ground itself, because we feel like we have to be elevated somehow or disconnected in order to be better.
Yeah.
But in reality, no, what we need to do is put our hands in get in the soil.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
absolutely,
saying?
yeah.
To be reminded of our worth, of our value, and to come back down to earth. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
to make it real.
No, I agree. I mean, I think that's the big part is being reconnected to our divine design.
Yes.
And again, the enemy, I believe, in this matrix that we live in, is taking us so far away from that that even when we start to hear about it, so even like, is it Trisha Hersey? Her book, Rest is Resistance. Yes. Like the idea that rest is resistance shouldn't be a thing.
Yeah.
Like rest is really a divine mandate from the Most High. You're supposed to rest.
It's necessary.
Right.
It's not an option.
But
Yeah.
because we live in the society that we live in, it is resistance. Because we have to
Yeah.
fight against this machine. So even the idea of resting or the idea of being comfortable and content with ourselves is antithetical to
Yes.
what we're constantly taught.
Yeah.
So we feel uncomfortable. So it's like, well, no, I don't want to become a billionaire, or I don't want to become a millionaire. Like I want just enough.
I want to be content.
I want to be content. Like I
Yeah.
want just enough to be able to do what I love, serve other people, be able to bless other people, be in a healthy community. But the machine is like, nope, if you do that, then you're a failure.
Yep.
Let me tell you all of these things and these ideas. And so when we hear something new, hear something that's divine, hear something that's actually supposed to help us and benefit us, there is this conflict.
Yes.
You know, we become double-minded, as you know, James says. And it's like, well, do you want actual health, or do you
Yes.
want what appears to be success in this world?
Yeah. And I think to that, it's like, you feel like it has to be either or,
Yeah.
like, or try to like put it together. And
Yeah.
it's like, but one thing that is exploitative cannot exist with the thing that is abundance. Like they can't come together.
Yeah.
Abundance is not tied to exploiting people, tied to lying to people, stealing from people, stealing from yourself.
Yeah.
Like you're stealing from yourself.
Yeah.
Like when you're hustling and grinding, you're robbing years away from yourself, health away
Yeah.
from yourself.
Yeah, yeah.
You're robbing yourself of community, of connection. You know what I'm saying? Of truth, of true value, of
Yeah.
the true understanding
Yeah.
of value. And I think that America does a good job of that. That's their whole plan. Their whole plan is to exploit people and brainwash them into believing that they're not enough, to keep them working for a system that doesn't benefit them.
Absolutely.
Right? And so all along we're missing it. We're like, it's right in front of our face. The soil is right in front of our face, showing us like how valuable we are.
Yeah.
And I just wrote down like, go touch the grass.
Yeah.
I know people say that, like, go outside, go touch grass.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, go touch grass. And we say that to be like, be real. Get off the internet.
Yeah.
You're being ridiculous.
Yeah.
But for real, go touch today. I implore you, go touch some grass. Go touch some grass.
Yeah.
Go take off your shoes and stand. Obviously, be safe, depending on where you live,
Yeah.
what's going on.
Yeah.
But take off your shoes and put your feet in the grass, in the ground.
Yeah.
Don't fight that feeling of feeling like, oh, this is dirty. No, this is where you come from.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then also, like, I think about our ancestors working the land and how intimate their relationship was with it. There was no fear. Like, even when I'm trying, so there are some bugs I don't like. There are just some bugs I don't like. But I'm trying to, because white supremacy, all this stuff teaches us to fear what we don't understand, right?
Yeah.
There's no reverence for it. We try to conquer it. We try to, rein it in and control it.
Yeah.
We try to control what we fear.
Yeah.
But really, I think how God wants us to operate is just to reverence it. We don't have to understand it. I don't have to climb Mount Everest to respect it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And now you got people, and no offense to, whatever, but like, there is something sick in us where we feel like we have to go to the ocean's deep and go to the mountain high to conquer stuff, seeking relevance and significance, when the terrestrial plane right here is enough for us.
Yeah.
Like, we can look at things without having to own it. And that, and I see people passing away, like climbing these mountains and stuff, and just to say that they did it, just to say that they conquered it. And people, like, we want to conquer nature so bad.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We want to
Yeah.
conquer nature so bad because we can't even see ourselves in the nature. We think we're so separate from it.
Yeah.
Right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
There was I wrote something down earlier, and whatever, I'll share it. But it was basically, I was driving, and I read this to you this morning.
Okay.
So I was driving. Me and mommy went to go see.
Driving and writing. That's not
No,
good.
no,
We
no, I
gotta have to talk.
I pulled over. I did. But no, me and mommy went to go see Elemental last weekend. Tuesday on July 4th.
Yeah, this week.
This week. We saw Elemental. It's an excellent movie. Please go see it. Lot of good lessons in there. But on the way there, we were driving. I didn't even tell you this because I've been so like distraught. But we were driving there, and this turtle was in the road, and so we like stopped and like
Yeah.
made a U-turn to go back and help it,
Yeah.
and somebody had run over it by the time we got there. Oh my God, I was heartbroken.
Yeah.
And then the other day, I went to the grocery store, and there was this like truck. There are a lot of trucks where we are, and it was like stopping in the traffic. There were like train tracks it was driving over, and I was like, what the heck is going on? And then he passes, and I see like a passed away turtle that he drove over, and I'm just like, So this is what I wrote when I got to the grocery store.
Makes me sad.
It makes
Aw.
I wanted to cry.
Yeah.
So I wrote this in the parking lot. I said, seeing roadkill truly traumatizes me. We become so desensitized to it. Like, we literally call it roadkill, or like, what is it? Street meat or whatever.
Well, yeah. Some
Like,
people
anyway.
call it that. Yeah.
So I say, seeing roadkill truly traumatizes me. We've become so desensitized to it. We cover or avert our eyes so we don't have to feel pain, sorrow, or guilt. A being lost its life senselessly. How many creatures are sacrificed for our convenience? Why do we not see their significance, their sacredness, or their worth? Why do we consider it par for the course, necessary for advancement? Why does our convenience always come with the pain of someone else, someone innocent? Who will mourn for the turtle, the deer, the frog, the snake, who just years ago knew this land as their home? We've turned their living into death. How much trauma must we cause the land? How many trees stand alone in empty parking lots? Who will hold their hands, nurse them when they're ill? Who will cover them in shade as a sapling? The earth doesn't need our help. The earth needs our reverence. Like, I really feel like humans try to find convenience, and we, in our search for convenience, and cutting corners, people are always suffering. Animals are suffering. The land is suffering. But when we work with the land,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Everything
absolutely.
thrives.
Yeah.
Like when we leave the land alone, they thrive. It's us. We're the problem. Like, it's our convenience. It's our elevating our wisdom above nature's wisdom. You know what I mean? And if you really want to humble yourself, go out in nature and go for a walk. Look around you. You did not create any of these trees, the ants that are on the trees working together in the system, the fungus that is on the ground working together with the trees. Like, it's just the design of nature is beyond us. We would never think of this. And we think that we're so much better in knowing what's right for the earth, when the earth was given to us as a gift, as an inheritance to take care of, not to own, not to control, but to take care of. And sometimes taking care of stuff is leaving it alone. Is, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or trying to learn from it. Like, hearing these cicadas out here in summer is like the sound of summer.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, there's just so much that nature can teach us, but we have to quiet and humble ourselves enough to listen.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, I don't know. Any other thoughts you want to share about soil and how we're soil? People of the soil.
People of the soil. I think, again, what you mentioned earlier, just about, I would say, being knowing that we are people of the soil. I think my caution is always being careful of what we consume. Because there are a lot of seeds. So in the scriptures, you can see, like, word is seed. So even words you speak to yourself, or words that you consume, and the music you listen to, the shows that you watch, the podcasts that you watch, like, I think it's important that we have to be very careful. Because, again, whatever seed is planted inside of soil, even in a natural sense, it will bear fruit.
Yes.
If it takes root, it will bear fruit.
Yeah.
And so if you have gardens, weeds grow there because there's a seed for the weed.
Yes.
The same is in our life. You know, if there are things that are in us that we don't like, that we don't enjoy, or maybe even we're even confused of what's there, like, why we have to check, where is it coming from?
Yeah.
Where is the seed coming? Because, again, there's certain stuff that is just all around us. Like, we live in a place that doesn't love us.
Yeah.
But we have to be diligent in protecting our soil.
De-weeding, uprooting.
Yeah, and like whatever seeds or whatever sources of bad seed exist around us, cut it off.
Yeah.
Like, get rid of it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the only thing I can think of because, you know.
No, that's really important. What you consume, what you allow to take root. Because I think that's the thing. It's like, yeah, we're thrown, like, people are, you know, I think about, like, wildflowers and how people just, like, throw those bombs or whatever. But, like, people throw seeds on us, but we don't have to accept it.
Right.
We go,
100%,
actually, no.
Yeah.
And then even if it does take root, be enough, like, okay, this weed in my heart is sucking the life out of me.
Yeah.
Like weeds do.
Yeah.
Like, weeds literally are weeds because they're detrimental to the plant that you're trying to grow, right? So, like, a weed in your heart is, like, destroying you. It's sucking the life out of you. What is sucking the life out of you?
Yeah.
And, like, for myself, I had to reflect on that. Like, what are weeds in my own life? Again, hustling and grinding. It is, what is it? Like, degrading my own self.
Yeah.
The way that I think. And then trying to figure out where did those seeds even come from that this plant exists, that this weed exists?
Yeah.
Who said that? And I believed it.
Yeah.
And how can I really take it out and then plant something else in its place?
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, I completely agree with that.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna get to y'all comments. Hey. Hi, Rashida. Oh, I'm glad. I hope this is making sense, y'all.
Yeah, me too.
But I was like, I gotta go live about this. This story always reminds me of the importance of knowing what to invest in. Yes. We all have the same currency to invest each day. Yes. But how, where, and what we invest in is really important.
Absolutely.
1,000%.
Yeah.
1,000%. Just like our land, right? We're only given so much, our plot of land, so to speak, our bodies, our being.
Yep.
Right, our existence, we're only given so much land, and there's only so much space.
Yep.
So what are you allowing in that space? And also understand every space don't need to be filled with something.
Yep.
Like there can be space for just like, I think about parks and how it's just land set aside for people just to enjoy,
Yep.
just to share. Like, and I love that. I love parks because it's like, and even the ones you got to pay for maintenance, that's fine too.
Yeah.
But it's still like this idea of, no, we're keeping this land sacred because we see the beauty and the value in it.
Yeah.
And the beauty and value in community
Yeah.
and people being connected to nature.
Yeah.
So even in your own life,
Yeah.
you don't have to be busy all the time. Have room for fun.
Yeah.
Do something stupid that you just want to do because it feels good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? As long as it's not harmful.
Yeah, and to add to that, I think understanding that there's some fruit that doesn't have to be sent out, because like I think about hobbies. Sometimes, at least the culture that we live in today, people are always trying to monetize their hobby.
Yes.
I think you have to be very careful of that because you could be monetizing that park. You can be monetizing that place of rest for yourself, or even that fruit that's supposed to benefit you.
Yeah.
So yeah, we just have to be careful of that. Not everything that is in your garden needs to be sent out.
Yeah. It's like people who build gardens not necessarily for food but for flowers.
Yep.
For the eye.
Yeah.
And for the pleasure of other animals, like
Yeah.
to come and pollinate and have fun.
Yeah.
Like that also counts, and that's also important. Yeah, I love that. Hi, JV. Yes, again, sending you so much love.
Yeah.
That's why I left. I know that's right. I like my sleep here in North Carolina. I know that's right, Mara. That's the thing. Like New York is fun to visit for me, but too long in it, I get anxiety. I get anxiety, and also like I feel like I'm just not. I don't know. Like I go through the show, I'm like, good morning, hello. Like that's how I am. Good morning, how are you? And I would do that and people would like frown at me and stuff. And I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah.
But I understand because New York it's interesting.
Much love to people in New York.
Oh, for sure.
I don't want
for sure.
it to seem like I'm demonizing.
No.
Demonizing New York.
No, one of my best friends is from Brooklyn.
Yeah,
so
I love the New Yorkers.
yes. That's right. Divine timing. Continue to give yourself grace. Yes. Allow for ebb and flow 1,000%. Hi, Beverly. Oh, thank you for the fires. Hi, True Mystique. Good morning. Good morning. Insert name here. Ezekiel, Jeremiah, Isaiah, and Job. Read yesterday. Okay. Talks about the wicked being in power and how they will eventually fall. Yes. Read the parable of the rich fool in Matthew. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Good morning, Audrey. Good morning. Good morning. Yay. Hi, Moon of the Sun. What's an example you have of hustling and grinding? Ooh, okay. So as a recovering hustler and grinder, just doing too much because you don't feel secure in yourself being enough. So like, oh, I need to, like when I'm talking about the music, right, that I want to put out that I planned on putting out next month, but I'm not ready. And I'm not ready for, what do you call it? Like the run of it. Because it's starting in October, but it's a whole like 6 works of art. And so it's going to be a lot of work. And if I was not patient and if I felt like, oh, well, I got to put it out to be relevant. I got to put it out to be seen. I got to put it out to be worth something. Right. I feel like the energy behind that to me is hustling and grinding, hustling for my worth, hustling for my value, and not honoring rest, not honoring that things take time, not honoring the season. Another example is just like overworking, like when people say wake up and grind or I'll sleep when I die, like that stuff, that whole. Like Gary V, I don't know about his message now. I haven't really listened to him in a minute. But that Gary V message, you're like, earn your leisure, earn your sleep, earn your shower, right? It's a works-based religion, honestly, for me. That's how I feel about it. Hustle culture, grind culture, and lots of things. Capitalism, all the things. It's a works-based religion where people find worth and value based on how busy, exhausted, profitable, successful, excellent they are. If that makes sense. So there's a lot of things. It could show up in a lot of different ways because even things done well and things done for good, like for good reason. If the reason behind it really is like because you feel lacking and empty, you might want to question it. Do you really need to do this right now?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
What about you?
I would say like there can be a fine line, at least for me. It can be a fine line between like hustle and diligence. So like,
Because there is a difference.
yeah, like I think we should all be diligent in the things that we are called to do or whatever we're doing. So if you're working a 9 to 5, I think we should be diligent, show up on time and do all that stuff or whatever. And I understand, especially since 2020, there's been that idea of like quiet quitting.
Yeah. I'm for it.
Yeah, I don't necessarily have a problem with that.
Yeah.
Like, long as you're doing what you're supposed to do.
Right.
You know, I think it takes a level of awareness, like self-reflection and self-awareness to kind of recognize hustling. Because, yeah, you can be diligent and, like, I'm doing the things that I know that I'm passionate about or whatever, and I'm trying to accomplish a goal. I think hustling gets to a place where you're draining. You're, like, you're
running.
Yeah, like you're overexerting yourself. Because I think you can do enough work in the day, get to a place where you still have some left over,
Yes.
and rest.
Yeah.
But very often in the hustle culture, grind culture, it's the idea of like leave it all on the floor.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think that's dangerous, and
Yes.
it's even dangerous for athletes. Like very often, even if you think about the sport that I'm most familiar with is like basketball. There's a difference of how athletes play, basketball players play during the regular season, and then when they play in the playoffs and when they play in the championship. Because if they play
Some management of energy.
exactly, or even if you want to do, you know, I was gonna say track stars, runners, like you know, people who sprint or
field.
like track and field, marathon runners. There's a method to how I'm gonna manage and exert my energy. I'm not gonna burn it all the way out the whole time because if you do that, you will hurt yourself. It's like you don't play like you're in the championship all season long. You'll hurt yourself. You have to have a balance there, and I think that can just be diligent. I'm gonna show up. I'm gonna do my best for today, but I'm not gonna kill myself.
Yeah. And your best for today is not determined by other people either.
Right.
I think that's like we see other people doing their best and maybe their best is more.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Like, but that don't mean you got to do more either. Like
Yeah.
you're not in competition with these people.
Yeah.
I mean, I think about like when you say track. So I swam in high school. And so that same energy, right? So a 50 free is down and back fast. So you're going in, down and back real fast. But for the 400,
Yeah.
which is down and back 8 times, I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
Right. So like I'm going slow. I'm pacing myself. And there's like even with relay racing with swimming, there's a method to it. Like there's strategy.
Yeah.
But a lot of us are just like running around. And there's also like a time to stop. With the 400 free, even though I'm taking my time, I still know that I'm going to be done at this time.
Yeah.
Hustling and grinding has no end.
Yeah.
Like it's just like
Yeah.
you've reached this thing. Okay, you got it. Let's go. No time to sleep. You
Yeah.
got to hurry up and go on the
Yeah.
right thing. But I think I even think sometimes those are bad examples because life is not sports. It's not a game, but like life is long.
Yeah.
Lord willing, life is long, right?
Yeah.
It's the longest thing you'll ever do in your life. You
Yes.
know, it's like,
Yeah.
you know, I heard that quote. I'm like, it's so, when you put it, when
Yeah.
you say it like that,
Yeah.
life is long. And so therefore take your time,
Yeah. Yeah.
pace yourself.
Yeah.
You don't want to burn a lot of us are burned out and we're in our 20s, 30s,
Yeah.
40s,
Yeah.
50s,
Yeah.
and we got so many more years to live.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Take your time. Like this rush against the clock or against this like imaginary day where like you have had to mate it or else you don't count or you're not important.
Yeah.
I feel like that really pushes us to go. And hustle and grind culture is founded in enslavement, right? Like this idea of like your worth being, and we talked about this before, but your worth equaling how much work you do.
Yeah.
Literally, that was our ancestors' measure of worth.
Yeah.
How much money they were worth, using air quotes, how much money they were worth in their eyes anyway, was based on how profitable
Yeah.
they were,
What they produced.
what they
Yeah.
produced. And we have not unlearned that.
Yeah.
We haven't. Like, and then that with like survival of the time from when we were free to now,
Yeah.
like we haven't really had time to really consider what that looks like for us. What does rest look like for us? Like, and also we've been brainwashed to believe, like even hustle and grind culture has been gentrified. It has. Like hustle and grind culture was oppressive to people. And now people are rebranding it and remarketing it back to us like we need it.
Yeah.
That all this Gary Vee that talk about grind and hustle and work your fingers to the bone and da da da.
Yeah.
But my ancestors did that and they still don't have nothing.
Yeah.
So what is that? It's not given what y'all say it's supposed to be given.
Yeah.
Like, it don't make sense.
Yeah.
Like, so yeah, so it's a whole thing. I can get to that's a whole other live stream.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I get very passionate about it,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
yes. Oh, thanks, JB. Insert name here. Hi. It's true. My mom was born in the 60s and I can't get her to stop and enjoy us, her family. I'm sorry. Go touch grass sounds like something an old school grandma would say when you
Right.
bothering her. Absolutely. Go outside, go play, go touch grass. Well, for real.
No, it's true.
For real. Hi, colorful confidence. Just came across your beautiful soul this week. Oh, yay, I'm glad you're here. You are now my daily dose of positivity. Oh, thank you. Alicia, you're positive. You're my positive BFF in my head. Blessings to you both. Blessings to you as well. And thank you.
absolutely.
Yes, let's get it. Hi, Amy Lee. I should be wearing my glasses, but stall is okay. Stall it time, much like roaches. I can't stand roaches even if they aren't on me. Me neither. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That's a bug that I'm just like, sorry.
They serve a purpose, but
I'm sure they do.
I'm still trying to figure out what that is.
Please don't serve that purpose near me.
Yeah.
I'm not interested.
Yeah.
But I feel you. Like I have a problem with their kind.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Same. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Yay. The hearts. Oh, I agree. Yay. Hi, Body Culinary. Greetings from my little garden here in Central America. That sounds beautiful. Yeah. Greetings. Good morning. Good morning. Lunashe. Sorry if I'm saying this wrong. So true. I remember seeing nature striving while we were locked away. Yep. During the pandemic. The sky looked so blue and the clouds so beautiful. Yes. Yeah. And the water was clear. The animals were living their best lives. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So yes. I like that poem. Can you post it? Oh, yes. Which one did I? Oh, yes, absolutely. Did I write about it's about the turtle? The roadkill? I don't know.
Sad, but yeah.
It is sad. Much appreciation for sharing that insight on seeds, for sure. Social media is also sowing seeds. Yep. And it is for us to sow conscientiously scriptures with common sense. Yes, absolutely. Yo, these words be kicking my butt. Yeah. There are a lot of life principles we can get from nature, 1,000%. If we're just quiet enough to listen.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. Hello. Good morning. Oh, well, praise God. God is good. You don't have to monetize all. You don't. Yeah. You really don't. And don't do it. It's a trap.
Yeah.
It's a trap.
Yeah.
Because now you took something that brought you joy to it having to be good to be supported by somebody else's money or be good in their eyes. Yeah. Right? So, yes, I agree.
I feel like that's something we both wrestled with.
For sure. Know? Same. Yeah. Let's see. Hi, Moon of the Sun. But people can take joy out of building in a part for flowers because people are also like flowers. Okay. But people can take joy out of building in part for flowers because people are like flowers. I agree. Oh, yes. I know. Flowers. I agree. Yes. And yes, you can take joy in building. These are not like, it's not either or.
Yeah, no.
I'm not looking at this like, don't ever do anything to build, don't ever do any work, whatever. That's not what I'm saying. Yeah. What I'm saying is be spirit-led in your work that you do. Instead of trying to be something, instead of trying to have relevance. You are relevant, period. So whatever you do, you know what I'm saying? Whatever you do is going to be blessed. It's going to be beautiful. You know, that's the energy I'm coming from as opposed to, or I'm trying to come from. I'm trying to unlearn the energy of when I do this, then I'll be worth something. Then I'll be enough, right? Yeah. Versus like, no, as a what do you call it, a field or as a plot of land, I'm enough already. I'm beautiful already. I'm rich already. You know what I mean? Like, I'm wonderful already. And whatever comes from me, therefore, is wonderful too. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And it can be shared with other people. And I agree. If you want to build some flowers for people just to be able to look at whatever that looks like in your life, do that. Yeah. Absolutely. Trimistique says, I'm leaving New York. I can't stand it anymore. It's too busy. Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. I also have anxiety. So I'm like, Hi, Tori doll. Hi. Good morning. Good morning. I love you guys. Oh, love you. Really inspiring. Thank you for holding the space. You're welcome. Only found your content a week ago, Alicia. Loving it from London. Hey, London. Hey, London.
Across the pond.
Across the pond. I do like going live around this time because I feel like more people can see it where they are versus like late at night.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
So that makes me happy. I want to go out the country or something. Me too. We're working on it. Yeah. Oh, yay. Hey, Jamal. How are you? Thanks for saying hey to Jamal.
I appreciate that.
Go ahead. Sorry. Yeah. Hi, Pamela Jones. Welcome. It's good to see you. We're Rich Soil. I just left New York City after 26.5 years. Wow. Thankful for the experience, but also grateful to have found more peace somewhere else. Yes. Thanks for this perspective. You're welcome. You're welcome. And congratulations on your move. Hi, Brenda. Hi, Queen and King. Hi. Can you share some ideas on trying to protect your soil, our mind, body, and spirit when you went through a long time of giving too much away to others and misdirection? Oh. Yes, that's a good question.
Yeah. I think first in protection, you got to learn what the threats are. Because sometimes we don't know what we're protecting ourselves from.
Yeah.
And that can be going back to the idea of like what you're consuming. I don't know. I think about the example that comes to mind is food, food or drink. So say you're just drinking soda and you don't realize that the caffeine and the high fructose corn syrup that's in it is actually causing your body harm.
Just give me sugar.
Yeah. But we sometimes consume things unaware that it's actually causing us harm.
Yep.
So identifying the things that are actually detrimental to us, I think plays a part in protecting your soil, especially if you are feeling drained. Like you have to go and examine, all right, what's happening? Like, why do I feel this way? And it can be little stuff like you're staying up too late. Go to sleep. I mean, seriously.
He's saying that to me.
No, I'm not saying that to you, but like in general, go to sleep. Like it can be sometimes it's subtle solves, but we don't think about it. Like I have a headache. Are you drinking water? Did you eat? Like little things like that. So being aware.
Are you eating well?
Right. Like being aware of that kind of stuff. I think that helps us to know where to put up fences or to put boundaries to protect ourselves. Like you got to like what is actually going to be beneficial for me. Sometimes it can be being honest. It can be like being mindful of the people you talk to.
Yeah.
It can be like family or friends. It's like, okay, I know I got to check on this family member, but every time I talk to them, it's kind of a lot. So you have to prepare yourself, you know, like, okay, I can't do it right now. I got a lot going on.
And honoring that.
Yeah, and honoring that. And it's not to say that I'm going to neglect or whatever, but like if I want to show up the best for them, but also for myself, I have to be aware of that. So like I would say that one nugget in regards to protecting your soil is knowing what you have to protect from.
Yes, that's good. Yeah. I would also say protecting community, right? Get around like-minded people or like-soiled, like-soiled people.
Absolutely.
And enrich your soil. Allow them to enrich you, right? So like I think there is importance in protecting people from the words they speak, and protecting yourself from the words people speak, right? But also be poured into by other people. Read books, read literature, listen to music, watch movies, hang out with these people that actually enrich your soil, that actually add things to your soil. And in the garden, the program I was running a few months ago, we talked about that. Like, how do you enrich your soil? Like, what does that look like? And when you usually do that, you're adding compost. You're adding live things to your soil to enrich it, right? So what are things that bring you life? What are things that, like, first of all, yes. What is death? What is life?
Yeah.
Trying to figure that out for ourselves, because for different people, it's different sometimes. There are some standard stuff for different people, it's different. What is death? What is life? And how can I add more life to my life or to my soil, right? How can I add more joy, more peace, more, like, what do you need to feel healthy and secure? And I think for myself, like I wrote out a list. What things make me happy? What things bring me peace when I'm going through a depressive state? Because I have major depressive disorder. Like when I'm in a depressed state, what is going to help me come out of that place, right? Being proactive as opposed to being reactive, I think is good. But also, like, when you're in it, when you do realize, oh shoot, something did take root, or something did get in here, or small fox, you know what I'm saying, took something, like, or it, you know, there's devastation in my land. I think resting is a great place to be, so that you can actually take inventory. What is here? What is going on? Where did this come from? You know, who does this benefit? That kind of stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, just for me, there are certain things I can't watch. Like on an entertainment level, I can't watch violent stuff. I can't watch scary things. I can't watch a lot of psychological
thriller kind of stuff.
Thriller stuff. It depends. Like, but I know that about myself. And so when I get the invitation to go see the scary movie, it's a no, right?
I'm a pass.
Right, I'll pass. Or I'll go watch another movie while you're watching this one. Like, so like knowing yourself and honoring it, and not seeing it as you doing something wrong, but as you honoring who you are. I can't do a lot of criticism. Even when people do it jokingly, it bothers me. It wears on my self-esteem. And so because I know that about myself, like I communicate that to people, right? And I also don't put myself around people who are very critical all the time. because I do enough criticizing myself. And it's not even like you're a bad person. It's like,
Yeah.
no, I'm warring in my mind.
Yeah.
Like I'm fighting for my life.
Yeah.
And this is not adding to my life.
Yeah.
Certain foods that just make me feel like trash.
Yeah.
Yeah. Stuff like that.
No, yeah. I mean, I hope we answered your question
Yes.
or gave you something to consider.
I hope so.
Yeah, like, I think it's important. You gotta do that self-reflection to know what's really going on. Because sometimes we realize that we have a problem, or we're in a situation we want things to get fixed, but we don't properly take a full account or audit what's actually happening.
Yeah.
So that we can address it
Yeah.
appropriately. We start focusing on maybe a particular symptom, so
That part,
when you say when you went through a long time of giving too much away to others in misdirection, even in that, say giving too much away,
Yeah.
maybe that's it. Maybe you're giving
Yeah.
too much.
That's real.
You know?
Erosion.
Yeah,
Yep.
like you're not setting up a boundary or setting up a right way to share effectively for yourself. Like I've heard this concept of sustainable generosity, where you find a balance of like, yes, you want to
like
give,
that.
you want to, be generous, but for some people they give so much that they empty their whole well, and it's just empty and there's nothing there. I think I believe you can find a balance of like, I can constantly give,
Yes.
and it's actually sustainable. I can
Yes.
continue to maintain it, so audit yourself,
Yeah. Yeah.
have that self-reflection.
And personally, for me, God is my protector. So like, for me, like coming to God with my worries and my frustrations and my annoyances and my pain and my joys, like everything in between, my anger towards him, like my anger, I be mad at God.
Yeah.
And me pretending not to be mad is not helping the situation. I'm like, God, I'm pissed, actually.
Yeah.
Like, I'm disappointed. I'm hurt. I feel abandoned by you. I feel like allowing myself space to be honest and to be fully human.
Yeah.
I think it has been really helpful because I think the world sees Black women specifically as mules, as maids, as like the fixers of the world. And we often do that at the expense of ourselves.
Yeah.
And so we swallow our pain and our hurt and our frustration, and we think we're doing someone a solid, but we're dying. You know what I mean? And God to me is big enough to handle my frustrations and irritations and woes, and it's not for me to carry anyway. God is ghetto here. What is this?
1000%. Yeah.
Like what is going on?
Yeah.
Like be real. Like, and I think protection, it's protecting because it's not denying that something is there. Like when we lie to ourselves and lie to God and lie to other people, we're harming ourselves.
Yeah.
Be honest, right? That is protection.
Yeah.
That is protection. And then when you tell somebody else, like, hey, this is what I'm feeling, I'm going through this, they can be eyes for you. They can be arms for you. They can help hold you up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah. So I hope that helps. But anyway. Yay, I'm glad you asked. Thank you for the question. Yay. Brenda says, hi Brenda. I want time to fast and gain a deeper connection with God, but my recent habits really took a lot from my natural energy. Yeah. Any advice helps. Ooh. I'm kind of there. So, I mean, I would say start with little baby steps. You don't have to fast for 21 days.
No.
You don't. You can
You
fast
really
for a
don't.
morning.
Yeah.
You can fast for an
Yeah.
hour. You
Yeah.
can, because the whole point, and I really had to learn this, and I'm learning this, like fasting, it's not about yes, fasting is an action that you take, but it's really about your connection to God and yourself and like withdrawing from all that extra stuff.
Yeah.
Right? So like just getting up maybe a little earlier and spending time with God, praying,
Yeah.
journaling,
Yeah.
right? Like, and while you're doing that morning, drink water. That could be a fast.
Yeah.
It has to be 20 days. It got to be 40 days or else it don't count. No.
Yeah.
God, I feel like we overdo stuff. We make things more complicated than it has to be. And I'm not saying this about you, Brenda, because same. But we make things more complicated than it has to be. And really, it's work-based. We think that the more we do, God is going to honor this. The more we do, God's going to see me and honor me. And we're applying this horrible culture onto God, and God didn't create that culture.
Yeah.
Where God is just like, he said, my yoke is easy, my burden is light.
Yep.
Meaning, what is the easiest thing you can do to spend time with God?
Yeah.
The how rigorous it is does not affect the connection to God.
Yeah.
That's for us. We think, oh, I got to fast for 40 days, not talk to nobody, and only do X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
That's for our ego. That's not for God. God
Yeah.
don't care nothing. Like, please.
Yeah.
Are we spending time? And sometimes we don't need to fast. We just need to be obedient with what God has already told us to do.
Yeah.
Just do the thing. Rest more.
Yeah.
Go hang out with your friends.
Yeah.
Go out in nature.
Yeah.
Go for a drive. I don't know. eat the salad, whatever it is, right? Like
Yeah.
sometimes it's just like the leading
Yeah.
of it, like just being open to the leading as opposed to trying to create something in which God can show up. God is everywhere. He doesn't need you to create. He's here, right? Like he created you.
Yeah.
And so I think we just need to accept it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, I agree. And I think with that kind of like in your question, in your comment, you say in my recent habits, I think going back to what we just discussed, like audit those habits. Like are they necessary habits?
Yes.
Or are they things that you can swap out for something better? You know, because I think about, say you enjoy listening to music every day. Well, what songs are you listening to?
Yeah.
are you listening to music that's feeding a part of you that isn't actually helping you to grow? Or are you consuming music and listening to music that actually inspires you, encourages you, and speaks life into you?
Yeah.
You know, or the podcasts that you listen to,
Yeah.
or YouTube videos. If you're spending an hour watching that stuff or watching something on Netflix, can you swap out that amount of time and energy for something else that actually benefits you?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I agree with that. So yes. My recent habits has I would say do the easy way. Easy's not a bad word.
No.
God likes easy. God is easy. Like when I think about, we were following these wellness people, and one thing they said was like, God is so easy and simple that God made fruit delicious for us to eat.
Yeah.
It's that simple.
Yeah.
But we're like, no, we gotta.
Yeah.
It has to be hard and it has to be fancy, and God's like, it's simple.
Right.
Just take the fruit, take
Eat
the
these
peaches.
mangoes.
Hello, like
Eat these grapes. Yeah.
just do the thing. And we complicate things because we like to feel like we're overcoming something because we feel like that gives us worth and value.
Yeah.
Like it's like, I did this hard thing. Well, honor me.
Yeah.
And really you're already honored.
Sorry.
What?
I was thinking about sorry, don't worry about it.
Okay.
Keep going. It's stupid.
Okay.
Sorry.
Hi. Oh, the tears. I hope they're good tears. Yay. Oh, yay. Hi, Tea Time Beauty. Welcome. I'm glad you hope it's helpful. I hope it's good.
Me too.
Yes. The Moon of the Sun says, the problem with the go touch grass comment is that it was used as an insult for those that are proficient, especially. But yeah. So I'm not co-opting it. I'm not saying it. I just think I think it's funny, but it's also like, I don't mean it as an insult, but sometimes for myself, Alicia, go touch grass.
Yeah.
Be real.
Yeah.
Like when I get in my head about like numbers and money and all this other stuff, like I like to go out in nature and walk around. And when that was what I was going to say earlier. Sorry to your question earlier, Brenda. When I was thinking about what's an easy way that I connect with God, I just go out in nature and talk. I just talk.
Yeah.
I'm so frustrated, or like I'm like, thank you God for the sun, for this breeze, for the trees, for like literally like listing out the things, for the ability to walk, for blood flowing through my veins, and it's basic stuff that we take for granted. Thank you for the ability to see color, to see like not in an ableist way, but to see things, to experience this world that you have created. This world is beautiful, it's infinite, it's abundant, and I get to enjoy the beauty that you created.
Yeah.
Right? Like I get to sit here and soak it all up for free at a park.
Yeah.
Right? Like, and so for me, that's an easy way for me to connect. But yes, I don't mean it in an insulting way. I don't.
Yeah.
I don't. No worries, Nate. You're always on time.
Yeah.
It's good to see you. It was a way for people to minimize the effort people put into. Okay, yeah. So I'll refrain from saying it.
Yeah.
But yes, I understand. Hi, Ashley. Hey, from Barbados. I came across you a few weeks ago and love it here. Yay, the energy here is so peaceful and pure. Oh, virtual hugs. I like hugs. Aw, y'all are kind. I appreciate you. Hi. Zophia. Please forgive me if I'm saying this wrong. Just tuned in while I'm working. Hi, welcome. Greetings, beautiful people. Such a beautiful couple. Oh, thank you. Thank you for sharing you. You're welcome. Thanks for allowing us in your space, in your virtual space. Hi, I guilt trip myself for going to sleep. I just drank coffee to keep me awake. Oh no, go to sleep if you can.
If you can, get rest.
There's beauty in rest. Go to sleep. Hi, Sherry. Love you. Oh, much love to you. You are such incredible to just be. You're incredible just to be and enjoy. I butchered this. I'm so sorry. And enjoy the moment and to live the soft life. Yeah, I'm glad. And it's not you, it's me. I'm not wearing my glasses. Hi, 577 Dragon Seraphim. Thank you. God didn't make the earth in 1 second, even though he could have. Yes. So we need to have temperance in work and rest. 1,000%. 6 days to labor and one rest day in mind, body, and spirit. See exit. Yes, thank you for sharing this. And I agree. Like, we want everything immediately. We think we got to do fast. But if God, do things fast. But if God, the creator of all of this, the source energy of everything, took God's time to create stuff, why do we think we're somehow wrong if it takes us time in season?
Yeah. Or better that we do it faster.
Yeah. Ooh, we think we're better than God when we do stuff fast. Yeah. That's real. Call it out. Oh, no worries. No worries. Yay. I'm glad. Oh, y'all are kind. Thank you. Everything is politics. Yes. No more critical people in my own. Yes. Yes. I'm my own critic too. And I agree. Like even the jokes, right? Like the critical jokes.
Yeah.
The passive aggressive critical ones. Not like the fun, like you're just having fun with your friends.
Yeah.
But like the passive aggressive ones where you know that there's truth to it.
Yeah.
It pokes holes in your self-esteem.
Yeah.
It wears on your self-esteem.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
Yeah.
It's not funny to me. Call me sensitive or whatever, but I don't like it.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, yeah, thank you.
Appreciate y'all. We got our haircut last week.
You guys are very
It's the
kind.
haircut. No. Sustainable generosity. Yes, I love that too. I love that too. Lying to God is self-harm. Yes. When God is graceful to you, he puts a stop to the self-beating. We don't come to him because we want to beat ourselves up completely to oblivion. Exactly. Exactly. Just take the peaches, right? Like, just take the peaches. Like, God is so simple. And I made a video about this before, but like, we hoard the good things because we think we have to earn it somehow. Like, I'm not worthy of this good. If you don't take this good thing.
Yeah. No, it's true.
Like,
it's true.
Every day is beautiful and there are beauties that we can, but it's like, no, I don't want to indulge. Indulge.
Yeah.
As long as it's healthy, right?
Yeah.
But like, indulge.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying eat the whole bag of Reese's, but maybe. No.
Okay.
But you know what I'm saying?
Fine.
Like, indulge. And like, there's so many things we're denying ourselves of because we think there are more important things to do. Or like, we have to earn it or whatever the heck we tell ourselves. It's a lie.
Yeah.
Life is for the living. You know what I'm saying? Like, the life is to be lived and felt.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm sweating. It's hot in here.
These windows open.
These windows are open. It's so humid.
I mean,
it's
we can
so
close
humid.
them.
I guess. I mean, I'm sweating now. Shoot. But yes, thank you. Okay. I would love to see a video someday on how to connect deeper with God. I would love that. Sure. I'll share my own journey. Because again, I don't have, thank you for the fan. I don't have all the answers, but like as I'm journeying, I'm definitely down to share my journey with y'all. I'm late. No worries. No worries. You're here.
Right
no
on
worries.
time.
Yes, right on time. Yay. This has been more than helpful. Okay, good.
Yeah.
Self-assessment and understanding what I'm protecting myself from. You are so right. God is easy, and I'm grateful he brought me here today. I'm glad he brought you here today, too. I'm happy. Having an attitude of gratitude has saved my life. Same.
Yeah, that's true.
It's the little things. It's really the little things.
Yeah.
The thing about God is we can never be ever disconnected. Yes. That's a human thinking. That is human thinking. The thing that can change is the amount of God that we allow to flow freely. We impose this hard duality between physical and spiritual. But if you observe your own spirit and yourself, where is the border where your spirit, that's true, where your spirit is a hard border from your physical body. It's all one ecosystem that works on flow. That flow is dependent on our harmony with our natural selves. I can read y'all, I promise. I'm just struggling. We get so out of whack when we don't get enough sleep, don't take in natural elements that make our bodies, when we take in too much blue computer light that throws off our circadian rhythm, When we start naturally harmonizing on deeper levels, God naturally comes through and we don't need to be more than what we already are. The Dark Knight, I couldn't say that any better.
Yeah, absolutely.
I love
Dropping
that.
knowledge.
Yes,
Knowledge.
Let's see. Yay, yes. You said my name. Oh, yay.
Oh,
awesome.
cool.
Okay, awesome. My name means watching.
That's pretty cool.
As a daughter of God. I love that. That's beautiful. Beautiful. Hello. Just wanted to thank you for your beautiful words and especially. Oh, you're welcome. Thanks for listening to the song. Thank you. Thank you. Hey, Australia.
Oh, wow.
Hey, Vivian. Hey. Wow. It's good to have y'all. Yes, own race, own peace. And the tortoise always wins the race. Yes, the tortoise does. When I move slow, my blessings last. I love that. When I move slow, my blessings last.
That's deep.
I heard some woman say, like, I think obviously talking about like Satan and God or whatever, but like the duality of like evil rushes, God takes his time, right? Like that same energy. Like when I move slow, my blessings last.
Yeah.
Like we're so caught up in like the hurry of it all, but like we don't really consider the damage being done
Yeah.
in the hurry or what we're missing in the hurry. When it's different than when you're walking down the street, you see the flowers, you hear the birds singing. When you're in a car going 90 miles per hour, you miss everything.
Yeah.
And you're in
true.
danger.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about Ghost, the movie. You in danger, girl. But yes. Mara says, I remember Steve Harvey was on his talk show, telling people that they should not sleep while we're sleeping. The stock market is changing. I felt exhausted just listening. I understand.
Yeah.
I'd be like, anybody talking that kind of, please get out my face. Leave me alone. I'm sleeping. And if it's for me, it's for me. That's my energy.
Yeah.
Whatever's for me is for me. When I am operating in the way that I should be, when I'm doing what I should be, I'm not going to miss nothing that's for me.
Yeah.
And it's hard to feel in the moment when you're feeling FOMO or like,
Yeah.
oh no, everybody's excelling except me. And it's like, actually, they're on their own journey.
Yeah.
You don't even know what that journey's about, if it's even good, right? But also, like, God has something tailor-made for you. And not on some, like, spiritual, prosperity gospel type stuff, but for real. Like, if I really believe that God is abundant, how do I feel, me as a human, I'm going to miss God? How that make sense? If God is time, if God is air, energy, like, how am I going to miss God? I'm going to miss God if I'm not in the place I'm supposed to be. And usually that's when I'm rushing. Or when I'm competing. Or when I am, you know what I'm saying? Like, out of alignment, doing stuff that God ain't asked me to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yes, okay. JB, y'all are refreshing. Oh, thank you. Thank you for your words of life. I'm glad. I'm glad. Thank you. Aww.
I'm glad that we can,
Okay. That's sweet. Thank you for joining me on my commute. You're welcome. Let's it's to you. Oh, blessings to you both. Maybe.
So.
Thank you for being a role model couple for me and my partner. You're welcome. I mean, listen. Listen.
I'll say we're just figuring it out.
Listen.
I'm glad we can share things.
I'm glad. Yes.
Helpful. Yeah.
I'm glad. Yeah. But we are nobody's couple's goals. We are nobody's. We're just.
Yeah. We share what we have. Yeah.
Yes. But I'm grateful. I'm grateful.
Absolutely.
Blessings to you. Okay. Yes. Blessings to you as well. Yay. Let's see. Right. LOL. And it's just sad that we think we got to do so much when we already were given the tools we need. Everything we need, we have. Yeah. We have everything we need and more. Yeah. And more. Yeah. And more.
Yeah.
Hi, Onyx. Did you want to say something? Sorry.
No.
Okay. I just came across your page a couple of minutes ago. Oh, wow. And when I was having a moment of feeling behind, a minute later, your video was suggested. I truly appreciated your specific expression. Thank you. Thank you. And thank you for seeing my expression. I appreciate that. The Steve Harvey comment, for real. For real. Not sleeping, leaning on your own understanding. God is the only one who never sleeps or slumbers. Yeah. No, for real. Even that scripture, we say that all the time. Don't lean on your own understanding. What does that mean?
Yeah.
Not raising our own frequency understanding beliefs higher than God's. Yeah. So like, even for us, it's like, oh, sleep is not necessary.
Yeah.
I cannot sleep because if I don't, I will miss X, Y, and Z. I won't get X, Y, and Z. Yeah. I'll get the hand clap or whatever from whoever. But really it's like, but God created rest. It's a non-negotiable unless you finna die. Unless you want to like pass away.
Yeah.
And quickly, like, don't sleep. But God created sleep. So there's something in sleep that's necessary that we may not understand, but it's important to do.
Yeah.
Like, I really do believe, and I get it. Everybody's like, needs a why for everything. I don't. Like, and I know that people say that, oh, it's because you're easily manipulated or whatever. I don't know what words people use or like, but intellectualism is not going to save me. I know my intellectualism is important, and I do think critically. Yeah. And I think in my thinking critically, I realize that it's exhausting trying to figure out the why for everything. Yeah. It's beyond me trying to figure out the why for everything. I would exhaust myself. I would never sleep. I would never slumber if I was trying to figure out the why for everything. Yeah. And I think that even the stuff that is created like sleep, like sometimes, yes, why is sleep important? We all need to know why it's important, so we do it, right? But beyond, I don't need to know the deep details of like why I have to sleep versus work. Yeah. I don't know. I think even in that, there's some protection in that. I might get dragged for that, but I think that there is some protection in our energy for not laboring over trying to figure stuff out all the time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, I think you're fine. What comes to mind for me is going to try to say this succinctly. So
Okay.
there's a scripture, I think it's Proverbs 4:7. It's like, wisdom is a principal thing. Therefore, get wisdom and
All that
in
getting
all
good
that getting good understanding. So I believe that there are three ways that we learn stuff. So there's knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. Knowledge is just like facts and information. Wisdom is applied knowledge. And then understanding is what what comes from the practice of wisdom.
Yes.
So even with that, like sleeping, the wisdom is go sleep.
Yes.
Go lay down.
And then you'll figure out why later.
And then over time you'll understand, well, I need to rest because my body be tired.
That's
like,
real.
You know, and even in regards to like say science, you know, there's studies and research constantly being done on sleep, and they're learning that you need to sleep, like it's part of it. And then, you know, understanding the functions and all the stuff that happens in our brain and in our body, giving more significance to the wisdom that already existed, you know. And so I don't think you necessarily have to wait for the why, just apply the wisdom, and then
You'll
in
see
due
the
time
benefit.
the understanding will come.
That's real.
Yeah.
I think about like children, right? Like, and how they're like, I don't want to go to sleep. And you're like, you have to go to sleep. They don't understand, and they probably don't have the skills or the whatever, the mental capacity to understand why they need sleep. For them, they literally are like, I'm missing everything. And we're just like them. If I don't sleep, I'm going to miss the opportunity. If I don't sleep, I'm going to miss my money. I'm going to like miss out on whatever other people are doing, right? And we tell children, you have to go to sleep, but they don't understand that they're growing. Like, and that takes a lot of energy. They don't understand that they're like very fragile creatures, like that they need their rest. And so I think for us, like, we're so busy. I mean, it's easy for us to tell kids that, like, we got to do, but they're in the same way. And they see the benefit later on. Later on, the kid hopefully is like, thank you for all you've done for me. Thank you for, you know, protecting me, raising me, teaching me, And I think in the same way, we're the same way. Like,
absolutely.
We're like, why? But why? But why? Like little kids. And then for our own good, we apply the wisdom. And then later on, we're like, oh, I'm glad that I rested. Actually, that's what I needed. You know what I'm saying? But you know, anyway. So yes, I agree. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Side note, but you can tell Alicia and Jamal are spiritually in tune because they look alike. Why do people keep saying that we look alike? That's when you know a couple is really in sync. That's funny. I think it's the bald head and I usually wear glasses.
I don't know. I'll take it.
Jamal looks different than me. I think. I think we look a little different, but
I can't see it this screen.
I'm so sorry.
No, it's okay.
But yes. Hey, Joy. Hey. Oh yes, living single fan. Yes, living. Oh yay! And that's where you got the name from. That's awesome. It's a feel good show. I love that show. Hi, Bimmy. Bimmy, please correct me if I'm saying your name wrong. Woo, God is something else. As I'm literally stressing over an opportunity I want, and it's not coming to me as quickly as I would like. So I can have assurance. Yeah, I get it. I get it. God has literally been telling so many times in this season to rest and let Him handle it instead of continuing to strive. Yes, and it's amazing because even for myself, I resonate with this, like trying to like make something happen and like rushing something and forcing something to happen. But it's like when God allows it to happen, it's easy. It's easy. And there's another scripture that we're all familiar with, like, you know, that they that wait on the Lord shall renew their strength. They will mount up on wings like eagles and soar and like they shall run and not be weary. I'm thinking of a Fred Hammond song. But anyway, so like that scripture, right? Like it's true. But I was thinking about it and I was like, I feel like one of the reasons why we don't grow weary when we wait on God is because we're not milling about, exerting energy that's unnecessary, running in circles, like chasing the wind and getting nothing in return. And then when God presents the thing for us, we too exhausted to even do it. We too exhausted to even handle it. We burnt out because we did too much. And I really think it takes trust, obviously, and faith to rest. And that's something that I was struggling with resting. And so, but when I rest, like things happened. When I rested, things happened that I was waiting to happen through somebody, like through my own work and effort. And when I finally gave it up and I said, okay, God, like you told me this is what you want to do. You got to make it happen. You got to make it happen. It might not have happened that year or maybe, you know, multiple years, but eventually when it does happen, it's easy and it's in alignment. And I'm the person that I needed to be to get the thing. I'm better able to receive it. Does that make sense? Because I spent all that time resting. There is, even with creation, I had this conversation with Kim Jones. Shout out to Kim Williams. She got married. Kim Williams. about creativity. And one thing she said to me that has stuck with me for forever, so shout out to you, Kim, but she was like, rest is the foundation for creation.
Yep.
Period.
Yeah.
Whether you're talking about God, art, creating people, right? Like making things, rest is the foundation. From rest, then everything else comes.
Yeah, that's pretty.
Isn't that pretty?
Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
It's so
It's a
pretty.
beautiful concept.
It's a beautiful, like, from, like, when you read scripture, doesn't matter what your background is, like, whatever creation story, it's usually resting first.
Yeah.
When you think of resting in music, right, you have to rest before you create the music.
Yeah.
And rest is not just the absence of sound.
Yeah.
Rest is music.
Yeah.
Rest is necessary. Without rest in music, it would just sound like noise.
Yeah.
There'd be no order.
Yeah.
It'd just be chaos.
Yeah. Yeah, it makes me think of like a canvas. Like a blank canvas is rest. And then you put the ideas and all the other
Yes.
things. Or like you were saying in music, like you have to have this space before you make a
Make a
melody
sound.
or harmony or a rhythm or anything. Like that's dope.
Isn't that beautiful?
Yeah. That's a beautiful
Like
concept. Yeah.
she was saying that the foundation for rest is the foundation for art, and creativity is rest. And I
Yeah.
was like, yo, but the foundation for everything,
Yeah.
everything is rest.
Yeah.
And so how dare we think that we're above
Yeah.
the law of rest?
Yeah.
Because without rest, you have nothing. Like we talk about, you got to rest your land.
Yeah.
Without resting your land, everything is destroyed.
Yeah.
Right? Like
No,
everything
that's
is sick.
good. Yeah, that's good.
So, but yes. Okay. The importance of sleep has taught me the importance of meditation. Yes. This goes back to being in harmony. We sleep, but when we wake up in a world that throws us in a constant state of stress and anxiety. Yes. The stress is not necessary. It even makes us sick. I'm not perfect at meditation, me neither. But I found that when I do, God becomes much more evident and blessings flow more naturally.
Yeah.
It's something about rest that is regenerative,
yeah.
not just in sleep, but in every moment. Yes. Yes. When you can restfully walk through something, you're more available. When you can when I'm rested, when I sing, I can sing better. You know, like when I'm not freaking out and I can't breathe and I'm like, and I'm worried about what are people going to think? How am I going to sound? Like, there's too many people here. Who's looking at me? What's going to happen? Are they going to like the music? Am I going to sing flat? Like, that's not rest.
Yeah.
But when I'm at rest, when I take a second, I can breathe. And usually that rest comes after I start singing. But like when that rest finally comes, that quiet, I can hear.
Yeah.
I can hear myself. I can hear melodies. I can hear God when I rest. When we're busy and making a bunch of noise, I can't hear anything. Like literally when I make music, God is giving me the music. I know it's not from me. Like it might be inspired by stuff I've heard, but I've literally been in states where I hear music. I hear music. I hear the whole production. You know what I mean? And without rest, without being quiet, without like sitting for a second, without meditation, I can't hear anything. I can't create anything.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Did you have anything you want to say? Sorry.
No, that's y'all vibing.
I love it. I love y'all. All of us loving your partnership. It is not common to be able to watch a couple authentically show up and support one another so fluidly. Couples who pray together, stay together, and grow to two. Yes, I agree. I agree. Hey, Uprise Queen. It's good to see you. Aw, thank you. I'm glad. I hope that this is helpful. Milling about exerting energy, busybody. Yep, like Martha waiting on. Yes, exactly. Girl, if you don't sit down, please sit down. Rest is the soil. I love that.
Yeah.
Rest is the soil. I love that. I love that. I think it's a big part of the soil.
Yeah.
I'm just passing through. Hi. OMG, I'm just tuning in. I hate that I missed the beginning. It's no worries. It'll be up here for replay if you want to watch it. But I'm so glad to be here now. I'll watch the replay again. Anyway, because I always watch Alicia Reading's video at least 2 times. Oh, I'm glad. Yeah. Also, I feel bad because somebody left a comment that like how I talk is anxiety inducing. I'm sorry.
Oh, no.
I don't mean that.
I'm sorry.
I speak really fast when I get excited, and I get I'm very easily excited.
Yeah.
So I hope that it's not anxiety inducing.
Slow down. Sometimes I have to do this too, like whether it's speeding up the video on YouTube or you can slow it down.
Okay, true.
You know?
Okay.
So try to, if that's the case, try to slow it down.
Because I'm not trying to trigger nobody's anxiety.
Yeah,
I promise.
Like 0.5 or 0.75 or whatever the thing is.
It might take a minute to get through. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But yeah. This channel is Mana.
Oh.
That is beautiful.
Yeah.
That makes me happy.
Yay.
That makes Mana. Can I say something about that in rest real quick before we start to wrap
Absolutely.
up? So I was last November, I think. It was last November when I decided to take a break from working. Like I said, okay, God, I'm exhausted, I'm tired. And I feel like God was really, like I was in a tug of war with God. Like, I'm so tired. And God is like, let go. And I'm like, I can't. I can't let go because then I'm not going to have no money, no nothing. Like, I'm not going to be able to do anything. So I just decided to test God, which I don't know if that's the best language to use, but like, okay, God, you said this, so I'm going to keep you to your word. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't rest. And I was reading different scriptures about rest and toiling and labor and that kind of thing. And one of the scriptures that is, it was Exodus when the Israelites were in the wilderness and God was feeding them manna, right? Like there's this, basically when God freed them from Egypt, they walked across the Red Sea because they was wilding. They did stuff, but they were in the wilderness and God was feeding them with manna. Manna from the sky, like falling from the sky. And God told them, I'm going to feed you every day.
Yep.
This is your daily bread. Do not save more than what I give you because it's going to spoil.
Yep.
And what do people do? Because we fear and we don't trust God. We put it in a jar, right? The Israelites put it in a jar to save it. And what happened the next day? It spoiled.
Yep.
It spoiled.
Yeah.
And it really showed me, like, it really was a reflection to me because I do the same thing, right? I try to hoard stuff. I try to make things happen in my own time. I don't trust God. So, like, I'm keeping resources to myself or close to my chest, or I'm delaying gratification, or, like, I can't buy this because if I buy this, I'm not going to have no money for X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
When no, do I believe that God is my daily bread or nah?
Yeah.
Like, is God my daily, does God have my daily bread or do I? Because I'm a terrible God.
Yeah.
I'm a terrible God, okay? Yeah. I'm very flawed.
Yeah.
I got a lot of issues. I don't have sight of everything. Like, am I going to trust God or not? Yeah. And I think reading that scripture was really, like, when you talk about manna, this idea of, like, daily bread, like, I feel like we feel so heavy sometimes because we are carrying so much. Like, we're carrying so much that's not ours to carry. It's not our job. Like, am I going to trust that God is the God of the universe, the God of the day, the God of the hour, the second, the moment, the God of my life, the God that is pumping the blood through my veins, the God that is allowing me to breathe and process oxygen through my blood? Because I'm not doing it myself. I don't know what's happening with my body. I know on a grand, like, on a, big level, like, what's happening, but I don't see what's happening. I can't look in my body and, like, pump heart, right? Yeah. Like, am I going to trust that God, or am I going to take things into my own hands? Yeah. And when I do, the stuff spoils. Yeah. When I take stuff into my own hand, I'm exhausted, I'm tired, I'm bitter, I'm angry, I'm frustrated, like, it's chaotic, it's a mess. You know what I mean? Like, when I try to do things by my own might. But when God is the man and when God is the daily bread, I can rest. Yeah. Literally rest. That it's finished. And not just like in a salvation sense. Yeah. But God got me. What I got to fear if God got me? Yeah. Like, I'm looking at the bank account and, like, I'm when I tell y'all, the only reason I'm speaking to this is because I tried it myself. And not saying, like, obviously, if God is not leading you to do it, don't do it. Don't not work if God is telling you, not to do that. Yeah. But for me, God was telling me to do that because I needed to humble myself. I needed to humble myself. Like, girl, you're not the one running the show. Like, you're not the one. Like, God gives me the ability to create wealth and make wealth. But please believe that God is my sponsor. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, God is the one making it happen. And I think it was a beautiful time because it made me, it forced me to be in a position to trust God. And when I tell you stuff came through, people sent me money. I didn't tell anybody that I was doing it while I was doing it. Yeah. But people sent me money. I got opportunities. Just last, what is today? July? Maybe like 2 months. 2 months ago when we were in Mexico, stuff was coming through. Connections were being made and I was resting. Yeah. I wasn't toiling for anything. I wasn't trying to make stuff happen. Yeah. Now, am I saying don't do anything? No. Like, obviously, like, the problem is that we're doing too much. We're not doing what God asked us to do. We're putting our hands in too many pots. And then we're wondering why we're exhausted and tired all the time. Yeah. Because God didn't ask you to do all that. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? How you mad? God didn't tell you, like, the simple, basic stuff. Yeah. And let God be God. Yeah. Stop trying to be God. And I'm saying this I'm passionate because I'm saying this to myself. Like, let God be God. Yeah. Marcus, hi. God is my sponsor. But for real. Yeah. For real. Like, so anyway, I hope that makes sense. So yeah, so the manna for me, every time I hear that word, I'm reminded God is my manna. God is my daily bread.
Absolutely.
And they were sustained.
Yeah. 100%.
Anyway, so yes. Okay. Thank you, just passing through for that. Thank you. Tea Time Beauty. Yes, more quiet time makes room for God to speak clearly to us. I agree.
Absolutely.
You speak how you speak. I appreciate that.
Oh no.
This may not be the space for him or her. I appreciate that, Jessica. Yeah, I don't mean to.
Yeah.
But yeah, I get very passionate and very
Yeah.
fiery when I start talking. It's not bringing me anxiety. Okay, good. I have anxiety. I have watched videos 1.75. Okay. It's not life. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I've watched videos on 2-point speed sometimes.
Yeah.
It depends on the person.
Yeah.
I never thought your voice was anxiety inducing in my opinion. Then again, I'm from DC. True. So I'm used to your voice cadence. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. That's funny. Marcus! You were not super late. First of all, Marcus is living his best life, okay? This is about the third location. He done been to Mexico.
Don't put his business out there.
Oh, okay. Let me not say where he is. But he's living his best life. He's no longer in Mexico, by the way. Globetrotting. Yeah. So you do what you need to do, Marcus, okay? You live your life. Beneficial Black men in the building. Hey, shout out to y'all. Shout out to y'all. Yes. If you want to share your... we'll go through the comments and I'll let you share your stuff. Okay. I love y'all's voice. You are bringing the word as well. Quiet your spirit while listening. Okay, good. Yes, that man is spoiled. Yeah. It's spoiled. Yeah. And you feel stupid because didn't God just tell you it was going to spoil? Yeah. But you did it anyway? Yeah. It's me. Or nah. You going to trust God or nah? Yeah. That's it. Hello, Jamile. Alicia, you are always a blessing. Thank you. Oh, hi. Hi, Wisdom Lee. Wisdom? I think. Wisdom or wisdom. Thank you for being unapologetically you. Thank you. You both have watered my seed this morning. Yay! Continue to let God use you. Thank you. And thank y'all for listening. Yeah. Sister, you're preaching this morning.
Yeah, she is.
Aw, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
It's God. It is not a coincidence that the world doesn't want us to rest. Yes, want us at rest, excuse me. Resting allows for introspection, growth, and time to change. The world doesn't want you rested. You are easier to control when you're tired, 1,000%.
Yep.
God is my sponsor. Yeah. That's not like a t-shirt. Yeah. Make a shirt. What is a burden to me is light work for God. That part. Hey, it's Shay. Ashe, I think that's your name. I'm still working on releasing it all to God. When I do my best, God does the rest. And I don't have to do more than that. That part. Yeah. And I love that. When you do your best. Yeah. Not the best of what other people are telling you to do or what you think you have to do. When you're doing what you're supposed to do. Yeah. That's it. Yeah. It's that simple. OMG, so true. I'm just starting to use new things that I actually need instead of saving every little thing for a rainy day. Yes, that's that part. It's like we're saying, I don't trust that he'll provide. Yes, 1,000%. Now, yes, use wisdom, right? Like it's good to have a little emergency fund, but I think life is for the living. And I said this before, like it's worship to God for me to have fun in my life. And if God gave me the resources, God has given me the ability to have fun. And I don't need to deny myself from fun because there's more money coming. There's more opportunity coming.
Amen.
Yeah. Yep. If you're allowed to rest, then rich folks can't exploit you no more.
Facts.
Because the wealthy are resting. Okay? The wealthy are resting. I don't know why we buy into this. I understand why I do know why we buy it. But this idea that the people at the top, they're working hard, they're grinding. No, they're not. They're grinding you into a pulp.
I think a good example of that, artistic example, is the movie In Time. With Justin Timberlake. Yeah, so I mean,
it was a good movie.
I think it's good, and it's good in regards to like also the concept. There's some stuff that's whatever, but it's a good movie. I would encourage you to check it out. In Time with Justin Timberlake because I think it really gives a good example about rest and time and that gap between those who may not have a lot and those who are considered rich or wealthy.
Because the people who are wealthy were walking slowly. Yeah. The people who were struggling were running everywhere they went because time was the currency. Yeah. And so like they wore watches, I think, or something. It was on their skin.
Yeah. Time clock was embedded in your existence. Okay. So when you ran out of time, you died.
Yeah. So you're working for time.
Right.
And so you're paying for stuff with time. Yep. And it's entertainment, but it really is commentary on real life. We should talk about that. We should do a review.
Okay.
Oh, excuse me. But yes, watch In Time by N-I-N Time. Yeah. With Justin Timberlake in it. Forget the other actors. I'm so sorry. Yeah. But yes. Oh, I'm glad. Yay. I'm glad. That makes me happy. Oh, yay. I was fighting with God about financial security and asking how could I have security with a 9-to-5 job, without a 9-to-5 job, excuse me. God said, why is your security in the things of this world?
Yeah,
I've
it's
been
heavy.
there.
Yeah.
It's heavy. Like, I had to be honest. I trusted the world systems more than I trusted God.
Yeah.
And I still struggle with that.
Yeah.
I still struggle with what you see versus what is supposed to be the truth. What up again? Hey, wish I could say no worries. It's good to see you.
Yeah.
At what point do you know when God is telling us to do something? Seems like a hard delineation. Sometimes I think so. I think it's hard sometimes because I complicate it. Like I gotta fast and pray and I gotta seek God.
Yeah.
But really, it's like, what do you feel led to do? What do you know that you need to do? I think sometimes it's that simple. Like, and sometimes it's like a whisper, like go for a walk, and then you walk and you meet somebody, and like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's. I think that we try to make these big situations, and sometimes it's stuff that you know you need to do.
Yeah.
Right? Like, what is God telling me to do?
Yeah.
What God told me to do already.
Yeah.
And I may be coming back, right? Or like loving people. Basic stuff.
Yeah.
Eating well
Yeah.
when I can, obviously, if I have the resources. Doing what's in my energy to do and what's in my realm to do.
Yeah.
And not trying to like overseek and I really do think God is simple. I think that we just, all these systems that people say to buy into and to feed, it complicates everything, and it makes us lose our voice. Like, we're all given intuition, we're all given spirit, we all know what we should do, but we're looking for validation from other people. Does this sound like a good idea? I don't know, I thought about doing this, but that's silly. That's God speaking. That's God speaking. Too often we're like, that's not realistic, that doesn't make sense, I can't do that, I'm not qualified. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I think usually it's the stuff that like wells up in us and we get excited about it, or it could be some stuff that sounds scary. But like, either way, like, there's energy around it. Like, you feel the energy. I don't know how to make that make sense, but like, that's how I feel.
Yeah. I think.
Go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. No, I'm just trying to, because I don't want to talk too long. Like, I don't want to talk too much. But like, in regards to like, how do we know what God is telling us to do, or when he's telling us to do it? I think, again, going back to like what we're saying about like being still, I think that definitely plays a part. But I also believe the Most High talks to us in different ways.
Yes.
So I think that's important. Like, just one idea is like being in community. Like, one of the roles of elders in our lives is for them to give us some wisdom.
Yeah.
So if we have a decision or we're trying to figure out something, typically those who have been here longer can give you some insight to help you understand some stuff. So, and then like you mentioned about, you know, there's certain stuff that God already puts in place that you should do. So, you know, be kind to people, you know, be nice to people and stuff like that. So, but I would say first off, you know, being still enough to hear him speak to you.
I like that. Let God be God indeed. Absolutely. And something else I want to say, I think that we're way more busy than God wants us to be. I think that we look to, not saying that you're saying this moon of the sun, but I think that we're like, if it's God, it has to be big and scary and like intense to be impactful. When like you smiling at somebody walking down the street changes their whole life. And you have no idea. You may never know their name or whatever, but like simple stuff like that. That's being salt and light in the world. It don't have to be this big like, oh, I started a foundation and I, you know, travel the world. Do that too. But also like everyday stuff counts. It doesn't have to be expensive or big to matter.
And like on that, before we get to the next comment, it can also be, I think you mentioned that, like small desires within ourselves that
breadcrumbs.
So like, for example, for me, sometimes if I'm going to a store or whatever, if I'm out and I have like a thought of like, give this person a compliment, that could be spirit talking to me. And you know, you give that compliment to somebody and
they light up.
And it makes their day, you know. They feel appreciated, and that may be what they needed in that moment. And so paying attention to that and yielding to that process, I think the more you do it, the more sensitive you get to it, so that you can hear better.
I agree. 1,000%. I love bigging up Black women, by the way. I'm like, yes, hair, yes, dress. I love that. Or waving hi. Yes, let God be God indeed. Absolutely. Or waving hello. There was a gentleman. I'm not sorry. Let me take it back. There was a gentleman that I waved to. Like, I was getting pizza, like and pizza in DC. And so I waved to the gentleman. And I was like, hello, how are you doing? And he's like looking around. And he's like, me? And I'm like, yeah, how are you doing? And the guy's like, I'm doing good. And I was like, good, good. And he's like, how are you doing? I was like, I'm doing wonderful. Like, we're just like exchanging energy, going back and forth. And like the energy is rising and elevating. And as I'm walking away, like I can hear him talking to himself, like, it's going to be a good day. Like, and I'm just like, just from saying hello.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. And he feels great. I feel amazing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like there was like an exchange of love there. And I feel like that stuff, those are God moments.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Those are like, that's God.
Yeah.
That's how it feels for me. Yeah. But yeah. My thoughts go so fast as your speech so I can keep up. Okay, good. Okay. Jemiel, haha, looking out for Marcus. Don't put my bad, Marcus. My bad. You need to do something different. I need to do something different. Excuse me. I feel the need to travel, create something, and fast, detox from this crappy food and sugar. Same. And yes. And if you feel that need, believe it. Yeah. Trust it.
Yeah.
And I know that we're looking for, when we have those feelings, we look for confirmation that looks like, here's $1 million to do that thing, right?
Yeah.
But sometimes that confirmation is just you seeing other people doing it.
Mm-hmm.
And they're showing you how to do that, right? Yeah. So like Stephanie Perry, Adelia, Rashida, there's so many other people out there. Mm-hmm. Like there are a lot of people out there who are doing that work and they're showing you how to do it. So yes, I say do it.
Yeah.
Do it. Vivian says, I'll have to come back and rewatch. No worries. I've discovered your channel a few weeks ago and I've learned so much from you. Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. All right, we're about to wrap it up, friends, because I want to do a song, hopefully, and...
I'll get out.
No, you're fine. I'll get out. Yeah, just keep it simple, even if it's just a morning fast. Mm-hmm. Morning fast and quiet. That works, too. You remember my name. You're welcome. You're welcome. Aw. So many people call me Ash. Oh, no. Oh, or Ash, I guess. But Ashe. Spirit's so poetic. I love that. That's exactly what they're doing. Yeah. Yeah. Working smarter, not harder. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. Side note, but this reminds me of how it's a tactic of brainwashing to the victim. Yep. Mm-hmm. Sleep deprivation is a tactic of brainwashing for sure. Like enemies use this tactic. Mm-hmm. Yes. When you're sleep deprived, the mind is more defenseless and more vulnerable to messaging. Yep. 1000%. Life is for the living. Mm-hmm. See, this is why I love you and your channel. I'm glad, Maisha. Thank you so much for being you. You're welcome. And again, this is wisdom from countless other people who have helped me get here. Shout out to my Aunt Eunice, who I talked about last time, who she said, I'm going to live until I die.
Yeah.
And she has dementia and everything else, emphysema. And she's like, I'm finna live till I die. And I said, I know that's right.
Yeah.
The into a pulp made me laugh. It's true. They grinding you into a pulp.
Yeah.
Oh no, in time. Yes. Same. Fair. Yeah. Trigger warning. It is anxiety. That is anxiety inducing. Yeah. Yes. Yes. Grinding you into a pulp. Rich were walking. Wow. Yeah. It's true. The rich were walking.
Yeah.
Hey, Alicia Russo too. I'm doing well. Thanks for asking. How are you? I was in your live a few days ago when you talked about saying yes to people. Have you heard of Mel Robbins? Yes, I have. And her video here on YouTube called How to Let Go of What No Longer Serves You. Ooh, thank you for the recommendation. I'm going to watch it, T-Bell. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, she has a lot of good stuff.
She does. Mm-hmm. She does. When others speak, there's confusion. God's voice is always clear. Okay, Ashe, thank you for sharing this. Because yes, I can get clear direction from God when I go to other people and say, what do you think about this?
Yeah.
I am therefore confused. Yeah. The idea is deaded. I am frustrated. I'm irritated. Mm-hmm. When it's like, God gave me the stuff to do in the first place. Mm-hmm. Keep it simple, right? Like, sometimes it's good to seek wise counsel, right? But sometimes we're using the idea of seeking wise counsel as an excuse to not trust God and not trust the voice within.
Yeah.
Some stuff we know.
Yeah.
We know. So yes, I agree.
That's true.
What most rich people use money for, we have God for. That's true. That's very true. In my moments, I've noticed God doesn't really tell you to do something in the sense we think of telling someone. Like Alicia said, God is simple. Yep. When a blessing is for you and you're ready, it just happens. There isn't much rumination. It's just given to you when you're ready and open. Yes, it just happens at the perfect moment. 1,000%. Yeah. 1,000%. Aw. Thank you, Dixie Walker, for liking. Yes, if you all are enjoying the stream, thank you so much. Please like the video, share it with somebody if you'd like to share it. You know, it'll help out. I appreciate you. It's sometimes hard to identify the border between rest and laziness, but definitely rest is essential. Yes. Yeah.
It's true.
I think God is telling me to help this man promote his book that this man literally brought to me, trusting God to give me the book. I feel so unqualified for this. I first of all, I hear you and I understand.
Yeah.
But I do want to say, if it was given to you, you can do it in a way that nobody else can do it.
Yeah.
You know, we think that we have to have huge influence and marketing teams and all this other stuff when really, like, nah, like, you're the You're the plug. You know what I'm saying? Like, you, even if you introduce this person to 5 more people for his book, that's still a big deal.
Yeah.
That's a big deal. Like, you're telling all of us. You could share it if you want.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, we're here if you want to share. But yes, I agree. Also want to say, sometimes laziness doesn't mean not doing anything. Sometimes laziness is doing something when you know that you shouldn't do it. I think, like, when I think of God telling us to sit, like, okay, God, I want to do this thing. Okay, rest, chill. And we take it into our own hands. I feel like that's lazy. Even though you're doing something, it's still lazy because you're taking what you think is the easy or safe way out versus what God is telling you to do.
Yeah, that's what you're saying.
So
yeah.
I don't relate laziness to not moving or working or doing something.
Yeah.
I relate laziness to doing something outside of God's will or without God. I don't know if that makes sense.
No, yeah, I think it's
because it's easier.
way to look at it. Yeah,
it's easier to trust. It's easier to understand.
Yeah.
So yes, the Dark Knight. Oh yes. Like, bro, LOL. It's an easy task that I have complicated due to racing against the invisible clock. Yep. Rather than letting God help me write. Yeah. Yeah. The Dark Knight. But we also have to realize we can mess blessings up. We can be given something and drop the ball. Yep. That's when we need to be honest and reflect on if we're operating out of ego and delusion again. That's so true, Alicia. One day on the subway, a fellow traveler was having a rough day. I smiled at him and he said simply, "Thank you, I needed that." I would cry. I would cry. It didn't cost me anything. Nothing. Yeah. Like, you are literal light. Like, we're talking about soil. Like, you are soil. You are a walking garden. If a smile is all you have to offer from your garden, that still counts.
Yeah.
It still counts. It's still healing.
Yeah.
I think for myself and maybe others, it's figuring out whether or not I want to do something or if God is telling me to do it. That's real.
Gotcha. Yeah.
That's real.
Yeah.
Sometimes all it takes is a simple hello with positivity and grace. Yes. Letting God's goodness shine through 1,000%. I really needed this day. I'm glad. Yes, I'm here. Okay, good. Here for the song. Okay. We're going to make the song. Yes. Oh, thank you, Tara. Johnson, thank you so much for joining the membership. Thank you. You help support this channel. I appreciate you. Thank you. Mika Campbell says, Alicia, I just love you. Aw. Authentically, unapologetically, a whole breathtaking, liberating vibe. Thank you, Mika, and much love to you. Much love to you. Hi, Lorenza. Yes, you're here. Welcome here. Your lives are always such a breath of fresh air, especially when I'm listening at work. Oh, yay! Much love to you, Lavandula. Also, yes, much love to you. I'm gonna make a separate video, but yes. Hi, Audrey. Alicia, you tried God for yourself in obedience, so yes, it's okay to test God. Appreciate that. It truly is a relationship. Testify. God always comes through one way or the other. Keep pouring into us in this channel. Thank you. I appreciate that. Amara, the other day I emailed my supervisor letting them know I was leaving early. I was mentally drained and I went to the movies, took myself out to eat and went a little shopping. Yes. I felt guilty. I needed a break. Don't feel guilt.
Yeah, no.
That's what you needed.
Yeah.
And you did, like, you're your first garden. Before you're helping other people build their own gardens, you're your own garden first. You know what I mean? So, like, you can't give nothing you don't have. If going shopping, to the movies, what'd you say? Napping, took yourself out to eat. Maybe you didn't say napping. Movies.
Took out to eat and went a little shopping. Yeah.
That's rest. And that counts.
Yeah.
And you deserve.
Yeah, that's what you needed.
And I'm glad the supervisor honored that too.
Absolutely.
Love that. Yeah. So no need to feel guilty. Like, that's why I used to hate when I used to call into my job to call out. I'd be like, I can't come in today. Why? You don't need to know why. Okay. I'm not coming in today.
I ain't coming.
Yes.
Yeah.
And if you go shopping, you go shopping.
Yeah.
So yes. I just love your spirit, Alicia. I'm glad. Well, thank y'all so much. Before we go into and thank you, Tara, for joining, and Themis for the for the super chat. I got you on a song. I do. We gotta talk because I want to know the theme that you're looking for, the sound, all that stuff. But yes. But thank y'all for spending your morning with me. We're gonna get into some music next, if you'd like to stick around. And then if you want to share your, but if you want to share your stuff, please do.
Yeah, if you're interested, I have my own channel called The Beneficial Black Man, where the goal is to help black men to stop being mediocre and become their best selves for glory and for good, and for a deeper joy inside themselves. So
I love that.
Talking about personal development, mental and emotional health management, and just trying to be our best selves, because it's necessary for the health and growth of our community and for us to be whole ourselves. So, thank you for having me on the show. And
Thank you for being here.
thank
Thanks
you
for being a
the,
guest.
Yeah, and thank you for all the beautiful people that are in here and that are
Yes.
supporting and supportive of your channel. I appreciate it.
Oh, yay.
All right, I'm gonna go so you can do your thing.
Okay, thank you, baby. Thank y'all.
Yeah.
Ugh. I'm all sweaty now.
Oh no, right?
It's all good. All right. Love you. Thank you. All right, y'all. Thank you. I'm going to try. All right, you guys. So I'm about to make some music, so I'm connecting my stuff. But while we're waiting, if you can give me a number between 120 and 135. Oh, yay. Aw. Thank y'all. Oh, yes. I'll share the link. Let me actually share the link now. That's actually, thank you. A good idea. But yeah, 120 to 135. But let me look this up first. The beneficial black man. All right, so here's a link to his channel. Copy and paste. Ooh, numbers. All right, so we're gonna do the first number that I see. I see 131. Okay, 131. So we're just gonna make music together in real time. As I always say, I'm a little nervous, like I always am. But either way, we're gonna have fun. Okay, so let me switch over the mic. So for those of you who are new here, I am also a singer. I'm a songwriter, and I make music. And sometimes I make music on the fly, live, like we're about to do now. So give me 1 second. Let me change the mic. Oh, one more thing. Sorry. Need to change something. But yes, okay, so we have 131. And if somebody can tell me, okay, audio MIDI. Let's see. Hold on 1 sec. Audio. Okay. Sorry, y'all. Y'all were buried underneath of notebooks. Okay. So 131. Please let me know if you can hear me, by the way. I hope you can hear me. I hope you can hear me. Okay. All right, so we're going to do the tempo is going to be 131. Yes, 131. Okay, good. All right, awesome. Let me take off this reverb. It's too much. It's too much. All right, 131 sounds like this. Oh, it's thundering. All right, so we're gonna make this. We're gonna make this fast. Okay. Take out this earphone. All right, 131. If you can tell me, how you're feeling this morning or this afternoon now. Oh, it's been 2 hours. How are y'all feeling? How are y'all feeling this afternoon? And I'll come up with a melody. I have some melodies on my phone, so I might use this. It's giving very much this. It was the 3rd of September. Yes, okay. Being nervous makes you, means you care. It's true. It's true. I need to have more grace with myself. Okay, you feel. Yes, I did. I did hear that. I did hear that thunder. I'm like, oh, let me hurry up. Okay, so we have grateful, calm, good, watered, inspired, stressed. Oh no, Simone, I'm sending you so much love. Energized. All right, let's see. So now I'm gonna sit and rest for a second and then see if any melodies come to mind. So give me 1 second. Oh, the thunder. Okay. All right, let's try it. Take a sip of water. me save this before our electricity goes out. Yay. All right. I hope that you enjoyed that song. And I hope that you feel grounded, that you're reminded of the soil that you are abundant, that you flourish in your right time, right? And what you have is for yourself first and then to other people. So thank you. Thank y'all so much. Aw, Golden Lady, thank you. Oh, wow. Turned on YouTube on a quick break. There's too much reverb. It's too much reverb. On a quick break for work, and look what I found. A beautiful surprise. I'm so glad this was a beautiful, beautiful surprise, Golden Lady. And thank you so much for your generosity. I really appreciate that. I feel like I missed a lot of you all's comments, but I appreciate you all so much. I'm hurrying up and getting out of here because it's starting to thunderstorm and I don't want it to fry my stuff. So I hope that you all have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful weekend. Happy Friday, everybody. You are good soil. You are a good thing. You are handcrafted by the person who created the universe. You're amazing. You're everything. So I love you. I will see you all. Oh, yay. Hi, Chica. It's good to see you. It's good to see you. Her Journey to Freedom. Hi. It's good to see you all. And I hope that you all have a wonderful, wonderful rest of the weekend. All right. And I'll talk to you all in the next live. All right. Bye, everybody. Love you. Bye. Yay.